A good Saturday morning to you, Jackson, West Tennessee. Welcome in Sports Talk Live with the coach. That's me, Coach T. Stratton. I am here live on location at Caddy Sports Club in Jackson, Tennessee. And the man, the myth, the legend, he's already in the house. He's ready to go. He's got some things to do today. We're going to get him in right here, right now, and kick this show off with a bang. Yeah, just checking our audio here. And Coach Ken Northcutt, head coach of the Lady Indian basketball team, Northside. Coach, Northside didn't fare too well on the gridiron last night.
Yeah, it was a tough game for the Indians. Lexington played very well. You got to give credit where credit is due, and Lexington had a great game plan, came in, executed well, did what they had to do. That is control the ball, limit the amount of touches that Northside had with their athleticism and explosive power behind a couple of their players. But, they managed the clock. Lexington they had the ball probably 80% of the game. And so when you have those games and they didn't give up the big play, I think Northside had one or two big plays, long plays, but, they had a great game plan. They carried it out. They played well. But, this region that everyone's in, it's that they're in this year, it's very tough. Anybody can beat anybody. All 7 teams in that region could win on any given night. And we saw last night how Southside came up and beat South Gibson pretty good.
Yeah.
And how Dyer County beat Crockett County.
Right.
So
who just beat Lexington the week before.
Yeah.
Right?
So it's there's going to out of that region, everyone's going to have a loss. I feel at some point. It's just it's a long season, a grind of it, and great football in this region.
And you potentially in that particular region, as well as the 2A region with JCM and Peabody and all Huntington, that group, you could potentially see a 2-loss region champ there.
Yeah.
That could make it deep into the playoffs and maybe even a run at a state championship. It's going to be tougher in that 4A with Alcoa now.
Right.
There gets a little easier for the 3A schools, but
right.
4A now with Alcoa. But I mean, wow, it's great though to see the kind of the equalness in football, right? It's not just anybody going in and running over everybody every single night.
Yeah.
It doesn't make for fun football to watch.
Well, certain fans, I guess the non-average fans who don't really have a connection to the school just want to come out and see a good football game. That's great for them because any given night there's going to be a great matchup. And so, it's good for the game. It's good for the fans and kind of see how everything plays out. But yeah, it's last night. Northside being at home, they struggled and trying to get things going offensively. But give credit to Lexington. They had a great game plan, and I'm sure Coach Lowe and his staff will get the Indians ready this week as they travel to Dyer County, I believe.
Yeah, that's going to be a big task. Dyer County, as you said earlier, getting the win over Crockett. Dyer County may be the team, that comes out on top if they can continue to run their schedule. They may be a 1-loss team or potentially even 2-loss, but there's some teams that can sneak up and beat anybody. Let's talk about the Lady Indians. The basketball is right around the corner. I mean, school is flying by.
Yeah, we're 6 weeks in, so we're a third of the way of our semester, and almost a fourth of the way. In 3 weeks from now, we'll be a fourth of the way through the whole year.
Yeah, yeah. I can't believe. I mean, just each day I walk in seems like a Monday of the next week, and it's just like, wow. It's flying by. Basketball will be here before we know it. Football season will be wrapping up. We're already in week 5 there, so halfway through that regular season. But the Lady Indians last year struggled a little bit. Still some youth and inexperience on the team. Not a lot of senior leadership, and so how does that stack up to your team this year? I know you've got some younger players that are newer to the team, and let's just talk about the team overall and kind of how the summer went for you guys.
Well, last year we had a lot of we had two seniors, and but we had a lot of freshmen that came in and had to contribute, and so. Coming from middle school basketball to playing varsity high school basketball is a big difference. You got the speed of the game, you've got the being able to decision making of the game, knowing the flow of the game, knowing what to do in certain situations, and it's just a lot was thrown at them, and so we were learning on the fly last year, but last year was a big growing year for us, and so now they got a year under their belt. We're hoping to make some improvement this year and some things of taking care of the ball, being able to make shots, score. It's been an issue for us is scoring, but last year we scored more than we've had in the previous years here at Northside, and so we've got to be able to score more even this year. And but we play a tough schedule. We open up with 3 tough opponents, and we open up playing Gibson County at home, and then we play Henry County, which is a 4A school, and then we on the road go to JCM. So that first week we got to start right off the bat, 3 tough games. But the thing is, our girls, our biggest thing we're trying to build right now is confidence in themselves, confidence in the team, confidence, just overall confidence is not get down. Last year, some of the teams, we got down early, and it's kind of hard to build them back up and stay focused on what we needed to do. And of course, we played a tough schedule last year. It's the district we're in is a tough district, and now the new region is going to be even tougher this year with the new region opponents we have. But we've got 5 seniors this year. We've got 3 juniors. We got a newcomer junior that's joined us, Makala Reeves. She's never played before, and this summer we were out in the weight room lifting. She was there with the flag football team, and I asked, she's athletic and strong and just a good kid that's just trying to give her best and gave good effort. And so she came out and worked out, and this was in July after our summer has already passed, and so we had open gym, and so she came and we scrimmaged some, and I felt she could help us as a team. She can do a lot of things for us. She can play guard, she can handle the ball, she's aggressive, she can also play post, and she's very strong and athletic. So the thing is just being catching up to speed, getting her in game situations that she's going to have learn on the fly this year, just like some of our younger players. Even though she's a junior, she's never played basketball, but athleticism is one of those things you necessarily can't teach. You either have it or don't, and so we needed more of that. So I feel it's a big pickup. And then we got 5 freshmen. There were 5 sophomores. I still think of them as freshmen, but 5 sophomores now. And as I said, a lot of them stepped up and contributed a lot last year with Kenya Johnson. She's our point guard. Came in, started off playing her as a 2 guard. Just didn't want to put that pressure of being a primary ball handler. But by the end of the year, she was our primary ball handler. A lot of the girls got a lot of confidence in her. She was one of our leading scorers last year, and so we're looking for her to return. One thing about one of our juniors, Jada Vandiver, she was our leading scorer last year, made the all-district team from our team, but she tore her ACL in mid-March with flag football practice, and she had her surgery, but we're hoping to get her back sometime in December, early January. So she'll be a big plus coming back in because she plays a lot of grit. She plays all out, good ball handler, good shooter, good defensive player. We're looking forward to get her back. She can add to us with that. And then I've got 2 incoming freshmen that's come in. I got a player that's transferred in from Middle Tennessee around the Nashville area, Sophia James, and she's a spot-up shooter. She's young and coming into a new school such as Northside. I have her in one of my classes, Algebra 1. She's a sweet girl, and but as I said, she when she came and tried out, when we evaluated her the first couple of days of school, she can shoot the ball. She's a left-handed. shooter, and spot-up shooter. And sometimes you got to have those players that can hit open shots.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
yesterday we were scrimmaging, and the team she was on, she hit 2 open shots, big shots. And so that's what we needed to do is have someone that can shoot consistently when we get open shots.
Especially as a freshman, though. I mean, that's tough to build. You know, you got to have some confidence because open shots as a freshman, that rim can kind of tighten up on you. You think that, hey, there's nobody guarding me. I should be able to knock this down. But you're also got to consider, hey, you're just 14-year-old kid. You haven't been put in those situations.
And we get in game situations. She's probably going to be thinking about other things and not focused on, I told her main job is hit open shots. But, when you're running your system and she's learning our system, and, that just takes time with that. So, that's kind of a little bit of some of our 5 seniors. I just want to talk some about them. We got Clea Hartfield. She's a returning 2-year starter for us. She's another one that we want to count on hitting out open shots. She's probably one of our best pure shooters we have out there. She's, we got to have her hitting open shots, and, she's a good ball handler, good passer. She helps us offensively, also a good team leader, very, very strong academic student. Yesterday she was part of the BioSTEM team that went to, I think, Union, participated in a contest over there. Other is Simone Trice. Simone's been playing for us 4 years. When she came, she never played basketball, so that first year she stuck with it, and she's very aggressive. She's another one that's going to go all out. She's also a cheerleader and very involved with school activities, but she's she's a good defender. That's where she helped us out. And but this summer she stepped up, was able to get open layups, drives, and make open layups. She's improved that right and left hand, and she's also capable of hitting some outside shots. So thing is, give her some confidence. But it's good that to have that leadership from our seniors there. And we got Alondra Kimball. Alondra plays post position, wing position, guard position. She's kind of a utility type player for us. Come in, and Alondra's come a long way since her freshman year of playing. She's gotten stronger. She's fast. She's another great defender that we need out there, and she's developing her outside shots, and we're still working on that. Currently, she's nursing. She hurt her ankle this summer, towards the end of summer, and then a few weeks ago in one of our open gyms where the girls were scrimmaging against one another, and one of the players fell on her and on her ankle, and so we met with the trainer yesterday and decided we just need to go ahead and get it looked at right now to find out why is it still bothering her. It's been about 6 weeks, and now she's having some swelling in it. So we'll find out something this week when she gets in to see the doctor. And I appreciate our trainer, Sadie Thetford. She does a phenomenal job. Yeah. She's very good. Yeah, really. Yeah. She's very good, and she can get the girls in with that. And then other 2 seniors we got is Aviana Miller. She's another utility player for us. She's mainly post, but she can handle the ball. She's a good team leader. She tells it like it is, and that she's going to play hard. And thing we're working with her is, she plays so hard she sometimes gets out of control. And seeing some things, she's aggressive. She's if you're going to go to a fight, you want to, she's one that you want to be behind. She's going to lead the way. Yeah. And so, she, does a lot of things for us as a team. Rebounding, defensive wise, scoring. But as I said, we've been working with her getting more control. Yesterday, as they were inter-squad scrimmaging, come the time, sometimes she gets a rebound. She likes to take it herself, and I'm fine with that. She can dribble up and down, but a lot of times she gets going so fast she can't slow down, and she just forces up or throws a shot up. But yesterday she just circled it right around, just pulled it right out into the wing area, and one of our other players ran right down the middle. She fed him with a pass and had a good open look right there. And I said, that's what we've been talking about. Yeah. And she did it multiple times here. So hopefully she's got that figured out. If she can get control and I mean, there's a time she can drive in and score that, but a lot of times when she's going full speed, she gets slowed down, and she's 1 against 4. She's going to take it right at them. But And then our last one, we call her a little bit, Malia Forrest. You know, she's another one of our spot-up shooters, left-handed as well. And so, a couple years ago in one of our games, team was playing us a zone. They were really honed in on our shooters, and they were giving this certain spot on the floor an open look, and I put her in, and she knocked down 2 big shots right there. And so, you know, that's what we need from Malia to do as well. Mm-hmm. And so these girls been with me for 4 years, and Kalia 3 years. You know, she transferred in, but it's amazing seeing how much they developed over the years, and in their senior years, I know they wanted to go out, be the best that they can be. And so, you know, we're a lot of times, you know, you go as your seniors go, and the leadership that they give. So, you know, this year they got a big role being a senior. Right. They've got to come ready to play. They got to make sure the team's ready to play. They got to make sure the team's focused. And they got to come up, back it up, not just with their talk, but with their walk. And so,
yeah, definitely. Coach, talk to us about this the district schedule. Any new additions, or everything pretty much the same?
Our districts is the same. We had our district meeting this past Wednesday. Our district tournament this year is going to be at McNary Central. Okay. And so we'll be going down there. And also McNary with the new realignment. You know, we were going across the river into Middle Tennessee. Mm-hmm. Now we're staying here in West Tennessee. We went from District 12. Now we're District 14, AAA. So our district's the same. We've got Lexington, Hardin County, Chester County, McNary, us, and Southside. There's 6 teams in our district. Some great teams that's in there. It's brutal schedule for us,
especially for girls.
For girls and us, and so you got to come ready to play. And you know, it's, you know, Southside's probably the favorite right now, because Southside, and they've been there on top, and Coach McNeil does a phenomenal job. But we also got some other teams. Jerry Lott, it's his 53rd year in coaching. Yeah. He coached when they were playing. We were talking about it Wednesday. I said, "Did you coach? They played 3?" I said, "Yeah." They said, "I've coached about 6 years 3-on-3." And some of the younger coaches, what? I mean, they used to play girls basketball in Tennessee 3-on-3. You had 3 offensive players, and they could only stay on the offensive end, and 3 defensive players. And he said that was in 1979 when they made the change. And I told him, I remember that. I had a older sister that played basketball, and I remember going and watching them play, you know, 3-on-3, and then watching them go to play, instead of playing 6, they went to playing 5, full court. But I was talking, you know, joking with Coach Lott, you know, playing 3-on-3 basketball, there was a lot of physical play at the half-court line when they were trying to get the ball from the defensive end to the offensive end. And everybody's up there, and they're blocking out and posting, and there was a lot of – that's where the majority of the fouls were, because they were just trying to get the ball. But, you know, that's it's a phenomenal – he's been at the same school for 53 years. Yeah, so he grew up there, went off to college, and came back and began coaching. And so he's just coaching only right now. I think he maybe have 1 or 2 classes that he has, but it's a phenomenal. He's still got that fire in him to continue to coach.
Yeah, after 53 years and what you've seen over the course of that time period, you might have some reservations about continuing, but he does a great job, as you said. And I mean, this district is pretty brutal on the girls' side, especially. You talked about Southside always being a contender here at the state level, but then you got teams like Chester County, Lee Pipkin. You know, they a little down last year.
They're down, a little down, but you know, she's always, you know, she's always had great teams in the past. She's coached, you know, almost 30 years, and you know, she does a good job. You know, Lexington last year, you know, really stepped up, was the district runner-up, and almost got to a sub-state berth. This came up a little short on that. They lost some key players, but, you know, Coach does a phenomenal job up there, and, you know, she's going to have them ready. Yeah. She's a great coach. Hardin County is going to be kind of they've got a new coach this year, and so they've got size. They've got a girl about 6'2" that can play. They've got another girl about 5'11", 6 foot that can also play, and they've got most of their guard play back from last year. They didn't lose much. They got a couple of good shooters, and so that'll be interesting where they fall. And so, it's up for grabs. In our region this year, that's what has changed. Now we're in the region with District 15, which is Haywood, Crockett County, Dyer County, Dyersburg, Obion County.
Wow.
And
girls basketball, that doesn't get any easier either.
And so it's going to be, South Gibson's in that as well.
Okay.
And so if you look at that in the past recent years, 2 to 3 years, Southside's been to the state tournament multiple times. South Gibson's been to the state tournament multiple times. Dyersburg's been the past couple of years, last year winning the whole thing. Mm-hmm. Chester County has been there recently. And, Crockett's a team that's been close the past 2 or 3 years. They've been a team that's been in a sub-state game. Or been in a semifinal game and maybe lose by 1 or 2 points. I mean, they're very well coached, and they're a scary team as well. So there's going to be a really good team that they're only going to 2 come out of that region. Yeah. And so the region tournament's also going to be at McNairy. So it's going to be a long drive from the District 15 all the way from Dyersburg, driving from one end of the state to the other end of the state.
Yeah, that's a you might as well just go get a motel somewhere and spend the night. That's going to be a long trip. And so will that be the same for boys? Will they
be the same for the boys?
So,
yeah.
So it'll be every night there.
Yeah.
Wow. And of course, I mean, every school is, unless they vote on it to hold it at a central site, it will be one of those things where maybe the new Hub City Center would be a nice place to host some of these tournaments.
Yeah.
When you have teams that have to drive from one end of the state to the other almost. I mean, Obion County to McNairy or Dyersburg to McNairy is probably close to a 2-hour bus ride.
Well, it's about 45 minutes of getting through Jackson with the traffic.
Yeah. So
I mean, it's definitely a 2-hour trip from Dyersburg, Dyer County, Obion, especially.
That's tough, and at least it's just the region, so you're only talking about 1 week potentially. Unless you
3 dates. The way we're doing our region, girls on one night, boys another night. Right. So for girls' team, it'll be 3 nights they'll have to travel, and then on the boys, same way.
Yeah. So that region tournament being held there as well. Mm-hmm. Then the sub-states would be.
Whoever wins the region wins. You win, you host. You lose in the championship, you travel. In the region, if you lose in the region championship, you travel to the winner of which this year our region's paired with the 2 regions in the Memphis area.
Okay.
So we'll go to Memphis.
On the other
side.
No
longer Middle Tennessee.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So everything on this side. So it'd be going to Memphis if you're successful in the sub-states. What about play-ins for district or region?
We did that last year. Our district we did the play-in games at a central location, just to kind of make it more of a tournament atmosphere,
right.
And to come in there, and it kind of helps some of the costs because sometimes when you play those play-in games, you may not have big attendance, but kind of make it part of a real tournament for the kids. So we did that, and we had more fans and felt it was good. So we're doing that again this year for our district. Now the region is the first quarterfinal games is going to be at the higher seed. Okay. And then the semifinals and the finals. The semifinals and then the final night will be at the central location, which this year will be McNairy.
Right. And so that playing game for the district especially is voted on by the district teams.
Yes.
So you can choose to have playing games at home sites,
right.
higher seed, or you can, depending on, I guess, also on how many people you have in your district.
Right.
If you had, 4, I guess you could still do that, but it's almost pointless to do
right.
that.
Well, we just did that play-in. Last year we tried it because we wanted. It's all about the kids. Want to have them experience a tournament environment situation. Yeah. And so it worked out well, and so we decided to do it again this year, and so we'll see how it goes.
Yeah. Coach, you've not had in the last couple of years your assistant at the building,
right.
always having to come over after school. maybe missing some practice time and that kind of stuff. But that's changed for you this year. How's that helping your team be more prepared for the season?
That's great. Coach Copeland White's is our lead assistant, and he was at a different school. He was at JCT the past couple years, and so he was never able to be with us during our practice time. And so he pretty much just showed up for games.
Yeah.
And he did a phenomenal job. He's a hype guy, hype man, and you got to have those, and brings a lot of energy to our teams. And so he was able to kind of help manage some, but he missed out on some of the schemes and things. Yeah, we'll talk about it, but you're not there seeing it and working with the players and getting a full grasp of that. But this year was able to get him transferred over, so he's right down the hall from me, so we're constantly in communication, right next door to you.
Right next door to me.
And so
we talk every morning about basketball.
Yeah, and so he loves basketball, and so it's a blessing having him. It's allowed me, when we have practices now, we can split up, conquer, and divide, and be able to get more work done. As managing 15 players by one person, it's kind of hard to do it. If you put them on both. Now, we can do some drills with that, but particularly when we break in smaller groups, it's good to have him, they're working with a particular group of skill set, and I can work on a different set, and then we can switch it up and manage our time a whole lot better. So.
Yeah, because, just even in that aspect, you got a half a team or, maybe a 30-year team that just stands around and watches. When you go into post play, your guards, they may go shoot free throws or something like that, but if you're not staying on them, they may kind of stand around and watch a little bit. So it's nice to have a coach there. It also makes your practices go a little quicker, a little more smoothly.
When we get more done, we definitely get more done, and they don't really get much improvement if they're standing on the sideline.
No, definitely.
So at least get them in some reps, and we emphasize game speed, just trying to develop that and trying to the concepts that we're putting in offensively, defensively, just trying to give them reps of that to kind of know, and kind of repetition. So
yeah, definitely. Coach, I know you got some plans today, got some things to do, and so we're going to get you out of here quickly here. Thanks for coming in this morning, talking about the Lady Indians season. When does the first official day of practice begin for the season?
November the 3rd.
The 3rd, okay.
The 3rd.
And then when will the first game be?
Our game is, I think, it's a Tuesday, November the 17th. I think it's 17th. We play Gibson County, Hall of Fame game, hosting there at Northside.
Northside, okay.
And then we have Henry County coming in on that Thursday, hosting them for a Hall of Fame game, and then we will play. We can play up to 3 Hall of Fame games, and then we go to JCM on that Friday.
Okay.
So it's get right off the bat playing a Gibson County team. Henry County is a only school there in Henry County.
Yeah,
big school. They're a 4A. We're 3A in basketball. They're 4A in basketball, and very physical, and so that's the only school in the county they get.
They get them all.
They get them all.
Yeah.
So they're going to be very well coached. They're going to be very strong and physical, and so we got to be ready to play. It's a challenge for us, but when Coach Woods got the schedule, the boys, is going to be a great matchup with them. They've always scrimmaged them in the past, and they've been talking about trying to get a game together, and so they did, and then. The next week after that, Thanksgiving week, we're out of school, but we'll host Ripley, and then we will host Madison on that Monday, Tuesday before Thanksgiving. So we've got 5 games in the first 2 weeks, and so we jump right into it, and so we'll kind of see what we made and developed, and kind of see what we need to get better at, and what we need to tweak, and what we need to. What's our strengths at that point of the season.
Definitely finding out those strengths and weaknesses, especially against teams like Gibson County, who's got a pedigree of championships. And you talk about Henry County being a much bigger school. Typically, they have a very large team, and both in size and in numbers, because, again, they're the only school in the county. So they've got a lot of kids that are coming in wanting to play. But, yeah, you're going to get a good view of your team there in that first couple weeks. And
we're playing against very well coached teams. It exposes a lot of things of teams you play. I mean, it definitely is going to let us know what spots we've got to get better at, what spots we're doing well, maybe give us some confidence. And that's a big thing, as I said, with I've coached boys and girls, and people ask what's the difference in coaching boys and girls, and to me the biggest thing is the confidence. Girls, struggle with that confidence there. They may not play as much basketball as what boys do, pick up games and things like that, or follow basketball as what boys do. Coaching boys, they got too much confidence. They think they know it all. And so, that's the biggest difference, me coaching girls and boys. But with coaching girls, if you hadn't really gone over it in practice and talked about the adjustments and stuff, the boys make better adjustments during game time because they know the game more because they've been watching it and playing it. So.
Yeah, definitely. Coach, we appreciate you coming in this morning. Good luck to the Lady Indians this year. Of course, we'll have the show kicked off for basketball once basketball begins each and every Saturday. So bring your players over and let's let them sit and tell their story in front of the community. And I know the community always appreciates that. And so we wish you much success this year. Go Indians! And just being down the hall, I get to hear the players talk each and every time, and the coaches too. And Copeland is just, he
all talks about basketball.
So
he comes in and he stops by my room and talks. We talk about things, and so. But he's a blessing to have, and so looking forward to him.
And being a coach, and I've retired from that aspect and do this now, so it's still just being a coach, just in a different aspect. Being down there where I'm at, I'm kind of on an island by myself. I don't want to have anybody to talk to. So the couple teachers around me aren't sports fanatics, right?
Right.
And so I don't have that conversation as much as I'd like to.
As the other end of the hallway with all the football coaches, baseball coaches, and basketball coaches are down there. We're always.
So I'm stuck down there by myself, and so he came in, and it's been a conversation after conversation, and it's great. It's great to have each and every morning. And we pick at the kids a little bit as they're walking past our classrooms to go to, because we're right there at the entrance, but it's good to see all of that and the relationship that he has with those kids. It seems like it's they're having fun, and hopefully that builds into the team and success as well, because when you're having fun, you tend to play a little differently.
That's right. I mean, if you enjoy what you do, you're going to work hard at that. So
yeah, definitely. Coach, appreciate you again coming in.
Absolutely.
And we'll see you throughout the season. Good luck.
Yeah, thank you.
You'd like to listen to Sports Talk Live with the coach. We're going to take a quick break here, and when we come back, let's get into the scores from around last night. We already heard Northside took one on the chin at the hands of Lexington. We'll also talk about that JCM Peabody game, another big win for a team on the field at Rothrock Stadium last night, but it may not be who you're expecting. We'll be back in just a couple minutes.
The road you travel changes, so can your insurance needs. Talking with Farmers Insurance agent Jeremy Chandler can help you assess whether you're ready for the journey ahead. There's a reason the Jeremy Chandler Agency was voted Best Insurance Agency in VIP Magazine's Best in Jackson 2024. Give Jeremy a call today at 731-FARMERS and find out why. That's Jeremy Chandler at 731-327-6377 or contact him at 731farmers.com.
Hey y'all, this is Mary at Mulligan's. Come see us soon before the new wears off. Hard to believe, but we're coming upon an anniversary in our locally family-owned business at Union University Drive. We still have our daily lunch specials, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m., which will remind you of Grandma's cooking. Or try our Irish dishes, fish and chips, Reuben's and shepherd's pie, or everyone's favorite, the Mully Burger. And how about brunch on Saturdays and Sundays? Yep, every weekend, serving Jackson for over 25 years. See you soon at Mulligan's.
Ever wonder what we do to keep the station cool around here with all this hot air?
We use Mylan Heating and Air, a locally owned and operated company that takes pride in fast responses. They offer repair for HVAC maintenance, installations or replacements, services for water heaters, and airflow quality. Mylan Heating and Air also offers financing with up to 12 months, no interest, no payment for those who qualify. Heating or cooling, residential or commercial, keeping the community
And the station
comfortable. Mylan Heating and Air, your local Daikin dealer, 731-487-9211, or visit them online at mylanheatingandair.com.
Get a seamless built-in look for your kitchen with a KitchenAid Flush Design dishwasher. With a panel-ready door and flush installation, this dishwasher fits evenly with countertops and cabinetry when installed in a standard cabinet depth of 24 inches. See how beautiful your kitchen can look at Kaufman's Home Furniture and Appliances, located at 2845 U.S. Highway 45 Bypass in Jackson, or call 731-664-0900.
Huffman's. Relax. You're home.
In 1967, West Tennessee's first community college opened its doors. In the decades since, graduates have made a name for themselves as healthcare professionals, community leaders, business owners, veterans, educators, and so much more. With 3 generations of Jackson State graduates leading the way, the future has never looked brighter for West Tennessee. We are your community college. We are Jackson State. Learn what we're all about at jscc.edu.
Best One Tire of Jackson and Brownsville provides outstanding tire sales and service along with exceptional mechanical work to customers in Jackson and in Brownsville. Best One Tire provides commercial, industrial, OTR, and agricultural tires to West Tennessee with honest and courteous service. With trained professionals who perform a variety of auto repair and truck repair services to keep your vehicle running smoothly, including heavy-duty suspension work. Best One Tire of Jackson, 2690 Bells Highway. And Best One Tire of Brownsville at 1180 South Dupree Streets. BestOneOfJackson.com.
Welcome back. Sports Talk Live with the coach. That's me, Coach Steve Stratton, live right here at Caddy Sports Club, the premier indoor golfing facility right here in Jackson, Tennessee. 601 Van Drive, right behind 731 Sports Bar and next to Hollywood 16 Theater. And, boy, what a way to kick off the show with some basketball talk with Coach Ken Northcutt of the Lady Indians. Coach Ken Northcutt spent many years over at TCA and head coach of both the boys and the girls there. Some deep runs and into postseason play with the Lions of TCA. And now he's at Northside and trying to get this ship righted for the Lady Indians. And hopefully he can find some success there this year as he's got a little bit of an experienced team. I think he said 5 seniors and 5 juniors. And so kind of for the first time maybe in his tenure there, some ladies that have some experience on the floor. Let's see if he can capitalize on that and turn that into some wins. Hey, we're going to look at this schedule from last night. Let's run down the games for West Tennessee and look at, and I'm going to hold off today, those of you that are listening and or may rewatch the show a little bit later. I'm going to hold off on the Gridiron Top 10. Most of the votes are in for the Gridiron Top 10, and we'll hold off on that just a little bit later and release that tomorrow because Milan plays today, and we want to with their position in the rankings, a win or a loss could propel them one way or the other in that in their standings, and so we want to give them an opportunity to get that game in. So we will not debut, excuse me, that's the wrong word. We will release the Gridiron Top 10 a little bit later this weekend. Let's get into some scores. McKenzie scoring big over Perry County last night. McKenzie 42-0 over Perry County. McKenzie improves to 3-1 on the season. And Perry County falls to even 2-2. And McKenzie, after that opening season loss to Huntington, they have found their winning streak, rattling off 3 straight. They've got wins over Dresden, Christian County, Kentucky, and now Perry County. And that Perry County game is a region game for McKenzie, so they are also 1-0 in the region. And again, the 41-21 loss to Huntington. I thought Huntington might be the team there to make another run, and then they ran into the Milan Bulldogs. We'll see how they rebounded as well as we go throughout these scores. Again, McKenzie 3-1 on the season, wins over Dresden, Christian County, and Perry County. They have next week. They have Camden Central at home, and that should be a good game. Camden Central playing tough this year. Sticking in Region 6, Camden Central last night loses to Waverly. Waverly now 4-0. The Battle of the Bridge. That game was close, though. Could have gone either way. That was a 20-18 ball game in favor of Waverly. Camden Central falls. And after their opening season win over Decatur County Riverside, 28-21, they ran into that Huntington team, lost 35-0. And then Dyersburg a step up for Camden in the classification, and they lost 21-0 there. And then last night in their first region game against Waverly, they lost by 2. So a very tough game there at Waverly. Waverly easily could be 3-1, but they're 4-0. So this McKenzie game will be interesting as Camden will travel to McKenzie next week. Camden now in the other region. We've seen them in the region with the likes of Liberty Tech and Huntington and such. They are now on the other side, so their region is a little different. Moving up to Region 8, Division 1, Bluff City out of Memphis, they finally get their first win of the season. And why do I bring them up? Well, I bring them up because of that's a team that Liberty Tech beat for their second win of the season. We'll talk about Liberty Tech as well. In fact, let's back that up because they are up in the top. Liberty Tech gets the 52-12 victory over Gibson County. Gibson County falls to 0-4 on the season. Liberty, better watch out. You better not pout. You better not cry, because I'm telling you why. Liberty 4-0 on the season. And wow, what a turnaround for Liberty Tech High School. They get the opening season win against Innovation Academy, 45-13. The second week of the season, they travel to Memphis to take on Bluff City. Bluff City, they get a 38-6 victory there. Then they're home against Middleton, a 45-0 win over Middleton for the Crusaders. And then last night, hosting Gibson County, 52-12, the victory there on the Crusader home field. Now, they will be on the road. And here's an interesting piece of information about Liberty Tech High School. Liberty Tech High School is still playing in the Commissioner's Cup in the Jackson-Madison County school system. So, as it stands right now, Liberty comes in 4-0 on the season. They also come in 0-0 on the season. No wins, no losses in the Commissioner's Cup race. So they have games against Southside, which they will play next week. Then they're off. They will play Hollow Rock Brewston on October 3rd at Hollow Rock Brewston. Story about that game, Hollow Rock Brewston game last night. We'll get into that a little bit later. So they play Southside. They're off. They play October 3rd against Hollow Rock Brewston. All of these games are on the road here, the next 4. Then they're at Jackson Northside, and then they're at Jackson Central Mary. And so I'm not sure the schedule, and maybe this is something that we will make a phone call about and talk with this week to get some information on. But we are scheduled to be, or I am scheduled to be, along with Talking Sports West Tennessee, Jackson's West Tennessee's Fox Sports affiliate. We're supposed to be at the opening of the Hub City Central on October 3rd. At this point, I'm assuming everything is still on schedule for the Hub City Center. We have not heard anything differently, but if for some reason, and you know how construction is, if it, let's just say if it would happen to start to pour down rain for the next week, there's going to be a delay. And so they are on schedule as it stands right now for the new Hub City Center. JCM will be playing their game there on October 3rd against Gibson County. And so, but if that doesn't happen, could we potentially see a showdown October 17th at Jackson Central Mary, the opening of the Hub City Center? And the reason why I think this would be a great opening game at the Hub City Center is because this is two Jackson teams playing in Jackson. What a crowd that would be as JCM would roll, or excuse me, as Liberty Tech would roll into JCM. And if JCM were to get, not JCM, if Liberty were to get wins over Southside next week, they go to 1-0 in the Commissioner's Cup. They're 5-0 on the season. Not worried about the game against Hollow Rock Brewston. They could win that one, and they could come into the Jackson Northside game 6-0. If they were to get a win over Jackson Northside, they would be tied with Northside with wins in the Commissioner's Cup. And if they beat Jackson Central Mary, they would be your Commissioner's Cup champions. Now, they're 4-0. So I'm not going to go out on a limb and say Liberty can't run the rest of their schedule, because they're winning ball games, folks, and they're putting up nearly 45 points a game doing it. Now, you can say, well, they haven't played anybody. On the contrary, mon chéri, they have. They've played 4 other teams that wants to win a ball game. And those kids go out on that field and they play as hard as they possibly can. Those coaches coach as hard as they possibly can to win those ball games. And just sometimes the team across from you is just better. The Liberty Tech team has some talent. They have some ballers on that field. Right now they're playing with confidence. I'm not saying that they walk into Southside next week to take on the Hawks and win that ball game. That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is there's a chance. There's an opportunity for Liberty Tech to go into Southside next week and get a win over the Hawks. And then, get 2 more wins over Jackson Madison County School teams and become the Commissioner's Cup champions. Now, that's a tall task to beat all 3 teams. So far, Northside has done it. So far, Northside has beat Southside. So far, Northside has beat JCM. They are 2-0 in the Commissioner's Cup implication. If Northside were to beat Liberty Tech at Northside on October 9th, the October 17th game doesn't matter, because Northside then becomes the Commissioner's Cup champion. But if if Liberty were to win their next 2 Commissioner's Cup games, watch out, folks. That game on October 17th at the Hub City Center against JCM might be a sellout. Because that at least puts Liberty at 6-1 at the worst, and they could be 7-0 going into that game. Let me rephrase that. Let me restate that. If Liberty beats Southside and Northside, and the Commissioner's Cup's implications are on the line, they could go into JCM potentially 6-1 or 7-1 or 7-0. And if they beat the Cougars on October 17th, Liberty not only becomes Commissioner Cup champions, but they have 2 games left, one against West Carroll and one against McNary. If they run the table to October 17th, they may go undefeated. Now, I'm going to knock on some wood over here because I probably just jinxed the Liberty Tech Crusaders and Coach Gillard. We saw you preseason, haven't seen you since. Come on over and talk about your team because you guys are doing some things out there on the field. But, wow, what a opportunity for Liberty Tech to have the turnaround of the century here in Jackson. Dare I say, already winning 4 games, going 4-0, if they don't win another one, just going 4-0 to start this season, has given Liberty Tech football a boost of confidence for the future that is going to propel them into many, many more wins. But let me say this. If they become Commissioner's Cup champions, the mayor might just have to give Coach Gillard the key to the city. I'm just going out there. I'm just saying it. If that is the turnaround of the century right here in Jackson, Madison County, because 6 years with no wins, and we have to say that's not accurate. No wins via playing the game. There was 1 forfeit. They've got 1 win during the COVID year. But on the field, this would be a huge turnaround for Liberty. Congratulations, Coach Gillard and Liberty Tech Crusaders, on getting the 52-12 win over Gibson County last night. Gibson County, a team much like Liberty the last few years, has had some struggles. They continue to struggle again this year. They are 0-4. Wow. Hollow Rock Brewston. Let's talk about them for a second. Because Liberty Tech will play them in 2 weeks. Hollow Rock Brewston, they are 4-0 on the season. They get the 39-16 victory over Fulton County, Kentucky. And it may be the last time that Hollow Rock Brewston travels to Fulton County, Kentucky. Hollow Rock Brewston getting the opening season win over Scotts Hill, 35-6. Week number 2, a much tougher game for Hollow Rock Brewston, but they pull out the win, 19-14 over Gleason. Then they get a 1-point victory, 23-22 win over Greenfield to remain unbeaten last week. And then last night, they get the 39-16 victory over Fulton County, Kentucky. Now, I've heard stories, and I'm not going to, especially in light of activities that have happened throughout this past week in our country. We are not a political platform. Sports Talk Live, Sports Talk Live. We're talking sports. But I will say this, our world is in a mess. That's all I'm going to say about it. I've gotten some different and maybe even some conflicting stories out of Fulton County, Kentucky last night. I've heard that there was just some very derogatory things said to fans and players and such. I've heard that there was some very inappropriate comments made to fans and players. that might have even included threats. We're just going to leave it at that. Not going to say anything more than that. Just threats. And people, we have got to be better. We have got to be better as a society. The arena of sports has brought the country together more times than not. I remember that game after 9/11 in which Sammy Sosa ran out onto the field doing laps with an American flag in his hand, and the emotion that brought to the country. I mean, wow. So sports has brought people together, different walks of life, different races, creeds, colors, schemes, whatever you want to call it. It has brought so many people together. And I understand that, man, there's a lot of divide and when you're a Dallas Cowboy fan and an Eagles fan. But there is no room for hate. There is no room for injustice. And there is no room for threats or actions based upon those threats. I was not in Fulton County, Kentucky. I was calling the JCM game last night. But I had no less than 5 phone calls on my way home about that game. People that were there, people that may have potentially heard some of these things coming out of the fans. And I've been to Fulton County, Kentucky, and I will say this, that on average, there's probably less than 50 people at Fulton County, Kentucky games. But folks, it doesn't matter. You can say, well, you know, the administration should have done this, and the administration should have done this. What I can say is, I've been an administrator. I can hear about 2 conversations at one time. If somebody is on the loudspeaker or on a bullhorn and they're blurting out things, I might be able to hear that. But what I cannot do as an administrator is it be in every one person's conversation and every one single place in the stadium at one time. Can't do it. So if these things were made while somebody was standing in the concession stand line or going to the bathroom in the restroom, or they were walking or standing on a fence line, and as the administrator, I'm somewhere else, nothing I can do about it until I hear about it and then send the appropriate personnel to deal with it. Whether that's myself as the principal or maybe the AD or even law enforcement. Because some of these threats supposedly rose to the level of law enforcement level. But what I can say, and I hope that happens, is that the individuals responsible for these threats, if threats were made, because some of it I heard was derogatory comments. Now, if you want to yell from the stands, you suck, okay. I'm not sure that really brings a good picture on you as a person to yell at the top of your lungs from the stands, you suck. But what I will say is that other than just being and looking stupid, there's no threat in the word you suck. But if we have adults, especially adults, and I'm not talking a 14-year-old immature kid to a 14-year-old immature kid. Those kids say things all the time. Now, in today's society, you got to take it a little bit differently. But they say things all the time that should have never come out of their mouth and don't realize it until it comes out of their mouth. But if adults are saying these things, and or kids, I hope Fulton County, Kentucky will be less 6 or 8, 10 or 12, less fans next week at their home game, and that they ban these folks. Because it's getting out of hand. The game was called early. The team had to be put onto a bus. The cheerleaders had to be put onto a bus and carted off the field. And I do believe that Hollow Rock Brewston, even their superintendent, took to social media last night and confirmed to some extent that there was something going on, because they made a statement on social media last night that everyone had made it home and safely, and all, I think, students, and I'm just paraphrasing this, but basically everybody was home safe and all students were accounted for, right? So we hope that that never happens again. Unfortunately, we know that people are stupid. Stupid is an action. I'm not calling anybody dumb. Dumb is an intelligence. Now, maybe people are dumb because they do things like this anyway, but it's a stupid. Stupid's an action. You control your stupid 100% of the time. I control my stupid 100% of the time. But in the end, people are stupid. And if you want to boo even your team, that's your right. But you do not have the right to make threats against other people. Freedom of speech is not bringing threats against somebody else. That's not freedom of speech. And people, we have to do better. We have to do better. I'm getting off my soapbox because I'm talking about sports. And sports should be igniting the flame within us to be better as people, to be better as a community, to be better as fans. And right now, I think our stupid in the world is just overcoming that. Hollow Rock Brewston gets the win last night, and they're home safely, 39-16 over Fulton County, Kentucky. And if I'm the principal of Fulton County, Kentucky, I wonder if I should even continue with sports the rest of the year. Now, we shouldn't punish kids for the stupidity of adults or fans. So I hope that they continue to have sports. But what I would say to this is that we can have sports with an empty stadium. If you're coming to my place, I will not allow my fans in. And that will be the case, right? It's just ridiculous. Hollow Rock Brewston in the region with McKenzie, McEwen, Perry County, Wayne County. They will start region play next week, the September 19th against Wayne County. Colin Wood is also in that region. They will be taking on Liberty on that October 3rd game at home. So that's a game to watch for. If you're a Hollow Rock Brewston fan or a Liberty fan, could both of these teams be undefeated going into that game? Not sure. Not sure. I'm going to venture to say that one of these teams will have a loss going into that game against each other. Who will it be? Union City, 14. Cradock County, Kentucky, 21. Union City falls to 1-3 on the season. Cradock County goes to 1-0, at least as the information I have. Union City takes the opening loss to Jackson Christian on the season, 24-14. Then they lose to Dyer County, 34-14. And then Decatur County Riverside plays, or they go to Decatur County Riverside, get the victory there, 18-15. And then they head up to Kentucky last night, and they take the loss, 21-14. Union City has Halls next week, September 19th. They're at home, and both of those teams hungry for a win. Then on the 26th, they are at Peabody, a team that I saw last night at Rothrock Stadium, Lane College, home of the Dragons, home of the Cougars for not much longer, though. And Peabody looking very strong. That's what I'm going to say. Peabody's looking very strong under not first-time head coach, not even second-time head coach, but long-time head coach, long-time assistant coach in West Tennessee, Tab Val, back at the helm of the ship. And he had, I'm telling you, rocking man going last night. because I could see all the way across that field. I think he wore about 14 or 15 different spots out. And love Coach Val, and he is a great coach, hard worker. He's got his team moving in the right direction. And Union City will be at Peabody on September 26th. October 3rd, Union City goes to hosts Milan at home. That's a region game. In fact, Union City has nothing but region games left. And we'll see them against a team here in Jackson-Madison County on October 24th when they will take on JCM at the new Hub City Center. Again, hoping that everything goes okay with the final touches. They got about 3 weeks left to get everything taken care of over there at the stadium. And the final and, the touches on parking, I'm sure, is still got to be taken care of. And just, those safety issues, there's just the cleaning up of the field and all that kind of stuff, get the construction debris out of the way, all that kind of stuff. We'll see what it entails. And again, we'll try to get a word from the district office, whether that be from the county athletic director or even somebody over building and grounds this week, and try to get a bit of information. Hey, let's take a quick break here. And when we come back, we will continue to run down these scores, but we got a coach in the house, and we're going to talk about this game. A big win on the gridiron last night for this coach over a familiar opponent and region opponent. And so we'll talk with him next. Coach Lester Narcisse of the Southside Hawks. When we come back, don't go away, folks. We'll be back in just a second.
Eyes forward. Don't drive distracted.
Emma, did you hear?
Todd's in the hospital.
Who's Todd? He got a collapsed lung from vaping. He thought it was cool.
Not cool.
Promise you won't vape, Emma. It can lead to a lifelong addiction, and we can't be friends if your lungs collapse.
Bogus.
Wacky sitcom teens aren't the best people to talk to your kid about vaping.
Hey, you got a minute?
You are. Start the conversation with your child about vaping today.
Welcome back. Sports Talk Live with the coach. That's me, Coach T. Stratton, live right here at Caddy Sports Club, Jackson, Tennessee, and the man, the Raging Cajun himself, in the house. We missed him last week, but Coach Donald did a great job of representing the Hawks, and I appreciate you sending him over. And Coach, man, the season kind of been a little bit of a roller coaster. Start the season off against Milan. And, what a game there at Milan, 35-28 loss for the Hawks, but making it kind of a statement in a loss against a very good team in the Milan Bulldogs. Then the next week, a big win over JCM. Then you ran into the Northside Indians, and things just didn't go your way. Really couldn't find the offense till towards the end, and then you kind of moved the ball, and then Northside made a big stop there on the goal line. But last night, in a region game when it really matters, the Hawks showed up big, and 27-17 victory at home over the Hornets of South Gibson. Talk to us about that game.
Man, it was a good physical matchup of what you expect from South Gibson. They are definitely a physical football team, and they have a brand that they like to play with, and that's just what they do. And it's old school football to me, but some kids don't buy into having to tackle and hit like that on a 48-minute situation, but they bought in and fought hard and finished it off.
Talk to us about the aspects of the game defensively. South Gibson to me this year is an anomaly. I see their roster. I see the caliber of players they have going off to the next level, and I'm like, okay, why are they where they are? So what parts of the game really stuck out to you last night? How did the defense come up and stop this offense for the Hornets last night?
Well, I don't know if we actually stopped them. We got a couple stops, but they do a good job of being patient, getting a bunch of blockers to the point of attack, folding well, don't give you many gaps to run through. And they're just a solid football team that know what they do well. They're not gonna make many mistakes. I thought we got a fumble in the first half that we didn't get. Trying to get some mistakes for them, but. They just a hard-nosed football team that do what they do. And it's a little different. You don't see it very much. So it was good to prepare for something like that if we see something like that down the road. So.
I think another big game out of Weldon last night, offensively
yeah.
and defensively, really stepping up this year and being a shining light for the Hawks. And you got a lot of them, and I know we're not just trying to point him out. We're just saying.
Well, you don't have much of a choice when you have like 5 touchdowns in the game. So, I mean, it's kind of obvious to know that he's a special young man, and not just in football, but in general, how he carries himself and what he does off the field. He's just a great individual and never complains, just grinds and loves the game of football. He's a football player. And 2 passing touchdowns, 2 rushing touchdowns, and a punt return. And also a pick coming in on when the game was down. They're trying to get back into it in the fourth quarter, and we've had some secondary issues, and so we knew we was gonna need him to step up at that third down situation, or long distance, and that's exactly what he did.
Yeah, I mean this is really he's becoming quite the utility player on football field, right?
Yes, Swiss Army knife.
Yeah, I mean he's as you said, adding now the special teams touchdown, the interception to his repertoire. He's been an offensive presence in the season so far for the Hawks, but really stepping up in other ways, and that's what good players do, right? They help you find a way to win in whatever way the game allows you to win. And so it sounds like last night that it was a well-rounded play for the Hawks at home.
We just got to get them more involved sooner.
I don't think they record touchdowns in warm-ups.
Right.
But nonetheless, you'd take them if they did, right?
No doubt.
A big win over, and again, South Gibson, a big opponent in the region here. This is one of the tough regions. We talk about this, and it's almost like we beat a dead horse, even deader here. And it's like, wow. But when we look at this, Northside last night takes one on the chin to Lexington. So Lexington took one on the chin the week before to Crockett County. Crockett County loses last night to Dyer County. Wow. I mean, this is a region really is kind of wide open, and I talked with this even with Coach Ken Northcutt, the ladies Indian basketball this morning, opened the show with. He was talking about that Northside game. He runs the clock over there, and we're talking about this. It really could come down to anybody in this particular region, especially one loss. But I mean, theoretically, you could see it play out that there could be a 2-loss region champ here. The cards would
depends
have
on the
play
series.
out.
Yeah, it's going to be
have
hard
to
to
work
figure out
just right,
at the end.
Yes,
no doubt.
it's going to be a task for somebody to win this particular region. Now, there's a couple teams in here that are kind of in the driver's seat right now and can make a push, but Dyer County being one of those,
they put themselves in position.
They definitely put themselves in position, but with the win last night, you guys are right back in the talk, and you get the kind of the week off from the region, not a week off.
But no weeks off.
A week off from the region because next week Liberty rolls in and
4-0
Crusaders 4-0.
Yeah, 4-0, man. So
I mean,
they got it rolling.
And so in a game the last few years that somebody would put on their schedule and say, okay, well, we can maybe start watching film for Lexington. That's no longer the case for the Crusaders. You better watch that quarterback because he's a pretty
elusive and can throw.
Yeah.
So it's a good young kid.
So how do you feel the Hawks match up with this Crusader team for next week?
Well, you know, matchups are matchups, but this is an inner city game, Jackson versus Jackson. So our kids should be excited to play and shouldn't have their own motivation to try to play football. And Liberty's going to be the same way. It's going to be excited to try to give it to us. So it's definitely be a good matchup.
Yeah, Liberty, really the only team right now that could compete with Northside for the Commissioner's Cup, because they still have all 3 of their Commissioner Cup games left.
So they have a lot to play for.
So they do have a lot to play for, and you guys could play spoiler alert right here next week and take one from Liberty and not only hand them their first loss, but you know, kind of take them out of that Commissioner's Cup race there. They would have to beat Northside then to have the head-to-head in the Commissioner's Cup race, and so with Liberty playing well. Coach, talk to us about you know, the attitude of your team coming out of that game last night. I know the heads were kind of low after that Northside loss. You know,
a little humble pie.
A little humble pie, right? But how did the kids? How did they rebound this week with their attitude and their demeanor, and then just getting that win? What did that do for your team this week?
Well, you know, I live life as a believer, so I believe everything happens for a reason. So that's what was handed to us. So we got to pick up the pieces and try to get that bad taste out of our mouth last week, and just bring the focus back to what's necessary and what's required to be successful. And the kids are buying in. They have given me everything that I'm supposed to get, you know, for the most part. Not always going to be perfect, but just having better starts in some future football games will be a plus for us. But they are definitely trying to be a team that is not wavered, baiting on the situation. You know, like last night, you're down 10-0 at half. Then we come out, we get a score, and then they come right back and score. You know, those momentum shifts could go either way when you're talking about young 15, 16-year-old kids, and just for us to stay focused and not worry about that and keep fighting, that was huge.
Yeah, definitely. You talked about that being down at halftime. So being down after the loss last week could really say, hey, you know, that could take a toll on you there, right?
Yes,
and
sir.
so to come out and rebound and respond with the drive and the touchdown, even though you gave up the ensuing touchdown to South Gibson, able to come back. Talk about your quarterback play, because that's one area that I think coming into this season was a little bit of a question mark, especially maybe not internally, but externally, a question mark because of, you know, a little bit of lack of experience last year and having to learn what was that experience going to transition into. But your quarterback has really responded, I think, this year and played well.
Yeah, he's a captain. He's our senior. He's leading us. We have full confidence in him to do what we ask him to do, and he directs everybody. He's a smart kid. I'm talking about. He is, you know, doing exactly what we ask him to do, and he's one of those kids that lives the right way and does the right things, and that's why you put him in that situation. So just trusting himself and you know, letting his confidence come is good to see. So in the second half, you can kind of see it transpire where he just let it go and stop trying to think and guess and just go play. So.
Right. 2 weeks ago, we saw, or not this past Friday, but Friday before, we saw Simeon Graham kind of get the overload from Northside. They took him away. Greg Green was a very instrumental part, had some big catches, and kind of extending some drives for the Hawks, who last night really stepped up and was a part of keeping the offense alive, other than obviously Weldon, who's just...
Well, you know, we had Weldon, Gavin, Greg was on the perimeter as well with Simi, and we was trying to take advantage of a couple of those things early on, and it didn't really work out, or we didn't get the connection. But Chris Nubo stepped up at some crucial times. He's a senior for us too, captain, and he ran the ball hard. and got us some necessary yards, and was very vital to getting some first downs last night.
Yeah, we saw him last week too in that game against Northside, and a hard runner, tough kid, and you talk about him being an instrumental part there, and seems, I don't know that kid very well, but every time I talk to him, he's a yes sir, yes,
oh yeah, no doubt,
yes ma'am type kid, and very respectful. So I can only imagine. Under his parental leadership and leadership of the school, that's a heads-up kid. Coach, you guys got Liberty next week, September 19th, 7 p.m. at the Nest. Another big game for Southside here. Not in the region because it's not a region game. Liberty going independent, and so their playoff implications aren't there. But then it's region from then on out.
This is
the season, right? And we talked about that being very tough. Lexington last night gets the win, and I know you're not looking past Liberty, but the season really is the region for you guys. That's what matters for playoffs. So when you look at that Lexington game, they're a little bit of an anomaly as well. They take one on the chin to Crockett. Or from Crockett, and then give one to Northside last night, how do your kids feel, coaching staff, yourself? How do you feel about the rest of this region moving forward?
We still gonna take it one game at a time. This region is gonna be a tough, difficult region, and that's just the way it is. So, but whoever comes out on the other side of that thing is gonna be better prepared for the playoffs and the situation they put themselves in. So I think it's going to be a good finish. It's going to be interesting. I think you're going to have, like you said, some two lost teams maybe that's in there for the hunt. So hopefully we won't be one of those 2 losses. We keep it this way. But it's going to be difficult the whole season, and we just got to take it one game at a time, one play at a time, and know the importance of that next play.
Coach, everybody healthy?
For the most part, we have we lost a lineman last week to a concussion. Our running back, Caden Curry, still has been out with that ankle injury, and then we lost Darius Jackson, who was one of our D linemen and offensive linemen the week before. But that's a part of football.
It is.
So it's the next man up. It's a preparation from us knowing that we have to get other guys prepared and be ready for that if something does happen. So that's a part of coaching and just trying to get them prepared, because we had a lot of guys step up last night that hadn't been on the field and hadn't been expected to play, and they did a great job for us. So.
Yeah, and that's that's why you put the pads on 5 days a week, and the game is 1 day a week. You've got to prepare, and you got to take that advantage. I remember being a young player myself, and getting an opportunity to go in and play as a freshman where there was a junior, had come out, and I played one set of downs and had some success, and then never came out again. And the junior sat on the bench for 2 years. And he was mad about it, and I'm like, you got to do it. As you said, next man up. And so it's great to have those guys, and that's why you got, and hope that you have 50, 60 kids on a team so that you have that next man available. It's tough,
And we do 2 platoon both ways, and South Gibson did that as well last night. So I do think it was a war of nutrition last night for them and us. So we hung in there and fought hard. So.
That's it. Big win over South Gibson, 27-17. Liberty Tech next week, and this a lot of implications in this game here. Even though it's as you said, crosstown rivalry. These kids know each other.
Oh yeah.
Bragging rights in the city. Just even if you win a game, it's just bragging rights. Much less the Commissioner's Cup implication for Liberty. You guys could start to spoil that for them, down inside of sometimes these kids, you got to think, well, hey, that's a little bit of motivation there.
They got them on the right track.
Yeah.
They scoring a bunch. They undefeated. So I still feel like we're gonna play like we're underdogs. So that's our mindset.
Do you think that you play better as a team as underdogs, or how do you feel about your team with that concept?
Well, with us, I've always put a box in their mind that everybody's against us anyway. So when something does happen, it's not a big deal. Okay, good, just another deal happened. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of the mental toughness aspect we've been trying to work on for them, is what we got them going with.
Yeah, and I think that's an aspect of the game that's highly overlooked.
Oh, yeah.
Because of the way the game has changed, and not so much in the high school, because some of the high school rules haven't changed quite as drastically as college and the NFL has, you know, the Brady rules and all those things. But when you take a component of being hit out of the game by the quarterback, especially in the NFL, you almost feel like, well, if he touches me, it should be a flag, or you know, and I've got to think that if you're you know, the Brett Favres of the world, or you're the you know, the Stars of the world, or the Bradshaws of the world, they're out there looking at these new quarterbacks going, you guys have no mental toughness about yourself, right? And at least at the high school level, we still have, there's unnecessary roughness, that's not what we're talking about, but we still have a component that the quarterback can get smashed. You know, I mean, you're going to get taken to the ground. Now, if you do that in the NFL, you might get a flag, but in high school, it's still legal. And so to teach that mental toughness, to say, hey, you're going to take the hit, and then you got to get up and potentially take another one, or how about give one instead, right? I mean, I think that's a component of the game that's highly overlooked in today's high school.
Oh yeah, and we have Pastor Reed comes talk to us before every game, and he does a great job of taking a word and giving it some acronyms and just getting them on focus to the same thing that we talk about all the time, basically. So everything's coming together. We just have to decide what type of team we will be.
Yeah. We had a chaplain when I was in high school, and I remember this probably most vividly. I was a junior in high school, and he used the David and Goliath story. Obviously, you know, it's a big one. The giant versus the underdog, and it wasn't about the giant versus the underdog at all, because we were actually expected to win that game. But it was about how much did David get laughed at and ridiculed by his own people when he said he could go kill the giant, and oh yeah, he was going to do it with a sling and a stone, right? So it was about who was in the circle and who was laughing at him,
right?
And how did David take that? He didn't let that affect him mentally and physically, or mentally. Most importantly, he said, you know, look, my strength doesn't come from that. It comes from a higher power, right? And so, not to get philosophical, biblical on Sports Talk Live here, but I remember that, and I try to take that and apply that to almost everything I do in life. It doesn't matter who's the circle around me that's talking about me. If I feel I can be the best at this particular thing, I'm going to go do it. And that's what David did, right? And it just really, I mean, that kind of.
I never really thought about it like that, but that's it. That's it. I stole that. Thank you.
I mean, little shot there, you know, because I just think about that in today's society, how many people we have, and even within our teams, that laugh at each other, or, you know, and it may not be an outward laugh, it may be something inward that somebody finds out about later, but. You know, our kids in today's society, and we got a lot of crap going on in the world right now, and the things that have happened over the last week or so with the school shootings and
everything
else, stuff in Utah and all that. And again, we're not a political show here, but I mean, it's just so crazy that our kids are bombarded with all of this, and because of social media and TV and all the news outlets and media outlets that are out there, it's just amplified into our kids' lives so much. That I can only imagine what they're thinking about when they step onto that field, and yet we want them to go think about lead left or lead right or 31 trap or 30. You know, that may be the farthest thing on their mind at the time, but yet we've got to get them out there and get them focused. Mental toughness is I don't know. I've been out of coaching now for a couple of years. I can only think what I would say to a kid to try to make them mentally tough. And it's a task. I don't know how. I mean, you guys.
I think it's 80% of the game.
Yeah. Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, 100% that it's 80% or more.
So it's just about, building them in steps. You know, it don't come overnight. It don't come when you want it to. But it's just about when they start listening and finally buying in and getting it, it's gonna be nice.
That's it.
Yep.
And I think when that aspect clicks, right, when it clicks in their mind, and they got that physical ability. I mean, you look at Weldon or Green or Simeon. And
Hopefully last night it sparked something and said, okay, we've seen it on both sides. We've seen how it looks. We've seen how we look when we do it. So I'm thinking that's gonna be the spark to get us going.
That's it. And then you can use that David and Goliath story.
Yes,
there.
it's happening.
When you're down or
it's
something.
happening.
Hey, the
at
fans
some point,
around
it's
you or
on the
something,
way.
It's going to happen. You know, if you happen to be down at some point. Coach, thanks for coming in today, man. I always love enjoying talking with you. And the only thing I would ask in the future is we got to get some food sent up from Louisiana here. Is there anybody can ship us a goodie box to Sports Talk Live or something?
I had to talk to Moms about that. She gets you
Moms,
some,
can you help us out?
Yeah. She'll get you some pecan candy or something like that.
Lord.
Get you going.
Yeah.
That ships well. The rest of that seafood stuff, I might not want to get it shipped out here. But
maybe we just take a little drive one week or something. And,
I need to go home.
Yeah, or have Mom come up. I'll give her the kitchen.
Yeah.
I mean, she can come over to my house and we'll get it cooked.
She working with them grandbabies right now, great grandbabies. So they hadn't been rolling as much. So
yeah, hey, that's all right. That's a good thing to do, though, right? When you got the grandbabies there.
Family first.
Family first. That's
yes,
it.
Sir.
Yeah, definitely. Coach, again, we appreciate you coming in this week. Big win over South Gibson, 27-17. Liberty Tech next week. All kinds of. This city's going to be a buzz with that game, in-town game there at the Hawks Nest. Make sure you get there early to get your seat and cheer on your Southside Hawks as they take on the Liberty Tech Crusaders. They'll be back the following weekend in region play against Lexington at home. Before then, you kind of hit the road for 3 of the last 4.
Yep.
And that is going to be a tough road stretch for the Hawks. Chester County, Dyer County, and following, then finishing up the season there, Dyer County and Crockett County. Man, that's going to be tough.
It's going to be a good deal.
It's going to be great. We may be at one of those games, maybe at multiple of those games. So hope to see you again. Coach, we'll see you hopefully next week. Congratulations on the win.
Appreciate you having
and
me.
we'll catch you in the near future.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
That's Coach Lester Narcisse, head coach of the Southside Hawks, and the Hawks getting the big win over South Gibson this past week, 27-17. Weldon having another big game for the Hawks. Offensively, defensively, special teams, this young man is stepping up in ways that the Hawks definitely need. They will take on the Liberty Tech Crusaders next Friday night, September 19th, at the Hawks Nest. Big game for Liberty, big game for Southside. Bragging rights on the line for both of these teams. And a little spoiler for Southside, could they spoil Liberty's chances at competing for the Commissioner's Cup here in Jackson, Tennessee? Well, you better be there next week if you want to find out. And then region play the following week against Lexington. Guys, we're going to take a quick time out here. And when we come back, we may have on the phone with us, we'll see if we can get him on the phone from the Blitz, Gridiron Blitz. We will talk with Stephen Weeks, and he was at JCS taking on St. George last night. We'll talk to him, and then just some of the other games that we talk about each week, and get his thoughts there. Again, no top 10 today because the Milan Bulldogs played today. They are in our top 10, the Gridiron top 10. So we're going to postpone on releasing those results today, just to make sure that they get their game in before we do that. We want to make sure that our voters in our circle of voters, that they have an opportunity to see that game and weigh in on those results as well. So we'll release that a little bit later. Guys, we're going to thanks for everybody tuning in today. Make sure you like and follow the Hub City Sports Network. We are a sister station of Talkin' Sports, the 101.5 FM, 103.5 FM, 96.5 FM conglomerate of the Golden Media Group and Fox Sports here in Jackson, Tennessee, West Tennessee. And so we are excited to be on the air with you today. We're going to take a quick break here, and when we come back, we'll have more talk and hopefully Stephen Weeks on the line. Don't go away, folks. I'm back in just a couple minutes.
Planning your financial future can be a daunting task. With all the things you want to achieve, how do you prepare so your money will go the distance? Here's some advice that may help. Why not talk to your local Woodman Life representative? They can answer all your questions, and together you can fill out a free needs analysis to help identify your short and long-term financial goals. Our representative can then recommend insurance and annuity solutions to help make your financial future safe and secure, so that all those things you want to achieve remain firmly in your sights.
Hi, I'm Kelly Bonifer, your local Woodman Life representative. Did you know that the life insurance you have through work may not be there for you if you change jobs? Call me at 731-423-4784 to discuss your options for protecting your family's financial future.
Woodman of the World Life Insurance Society of Omaha, Nebraska. Woodman Life, standing strong for generations.
Hey there, you pizza lovers. When it comes to the perfect pizza, Jet's Pizza is in a league of their own. Our dough is made fresh every morning, hand-pressed with care, and baked to absolute perfection. We believe in the art of crafting pizza, slicing veggies by hand, and mixing ripe tomatoes with a blend of tantalizing spices. You haven't experienced pizza until you've tried our famous Detroit-style deep dish pizza. With 2 locations in Jackson, call 731-300-7992 to get your Jet's Pizza now. We're also looking for delivery drivers with flexible schedules. Join our team and spread joy with every delicious delivery. Jet's Pizza in Jackson.
All the recent weather events has me wondering of ways to protect my home and my family in the event of an emergency or power outage. I can't imagine being without power.
At Lindsay Electric, family means everything. A generator installed by the factory-trained team at Lindsay Electric is the best solution for your family in any emergency.
So what's my next move?
Call Lindsay Electric today for a free consultation at 731-423-1580.
Hi, I'm Kobe Lindsay. At Lindsay Electric, it's not just a generator, it's a power move.
Is it a coincidence that the Titans play in the American Football Conference and there's an American Motors location on North Highland in Jackson? We think not. With a vast selection of off-road vehicles and street machines to fit every budget and lifestyle. There may be pressure on the field, but you will never be pressured at American Motors on North Highland in Jackson. Call 554-5000. Visit AmericanMotorsofJackson.com. American Motors. Shop local, buy American, and go Titans.
Now open Tai Chi Bubble Tea, a new restaurant experience in Jackson with an inviting ambience like no other. You can enjoy a comfortable, family-friendly atmosphere while going through Tai Chi's extensive drink menu and deciding between their sushi menu, Tai Chi rice box, or ramen menu. You're invited to come see for yourself so you can tell all your friends and come back for more. Come and experience Tai Chi Bubble Tea, Jackson's newest place to meet and greet. 8th Stonebridge, down from Aldi.
Welcome back. Sports Talk Live with the coach. That's me, Coach Steve Stratton, live right here at Caddy Sports Club, the premier indoor golfing facility in Jackson, Tennessee. Get over here today, book your tea time, and have some lunch. The chicken bacon ranch pizza is one of my favorites. Also, the hot honey pizza is also a favorite. And man, just get over here today and get yourself some grub. The game will be on, I'm sure, here shortly. Bulldogs and the Vols. And we're going to call here right now Stephen Weeks of the Gridiron Blitz. And let's see if we can get him on the phone. Check 1, 2. Do you hear us, Stephen? I got you. Gotcha. All right. Good morning, sir. How you doing today?
Doing great.
Hey, we're excited about the games last night. I think you were at JCS versus St. George. Is that correct?
I was.
Talk to us a little bit about that game.
JCS dominated from start to finish. If you hadn't watched JCS this year, I've not seen them live. USJ are going to be battling out for that. Look, last night it was Deuce Lawrence and Jay Pirtle, and they ran all over St. George's.
Yeah, I mean they've got some spectacular players over there at JCS, and it's one of those things where we expect JCS to be making a push for some late postseason runs.
I honestly, after watching them now twice, I haven't seen USJ yet. I've watched a little bit of TCA, but I mean, right now I would have to say that JCS is the favorite. You've got talent all over that field. I mean, we mentioned Pirtle and Lawrence, but I mean, their quarterback is a really good ball player. Their defense is fantastic. Kelsey Rose, who plays wide receiver and defensive line, he's got college offer or getting college looks all over. I mean, they're a really good ball club, and I wouldn't want to see JCS on my schedule.
Yeah, no, I don't wouldn't want them to be somewhere in my future, especially if they're a school that is in their region, right? I mean, they definitely got a little bit of I think it's on my end here, but they definitely have an opportunity here as they put up 40 on St. George last night. St. George came in 3-0 on the season, and so they kind of just walked all over them. But they now hit that region portion of their schedule against Fayette Academy, Tipton Rosemark, Trinity Christian, Hardin Academy, FACS, and then they'll finish out the season at USJ. That game may come down to, two undefeated teams. Could we say that?
I'm beginning to think so now. USJ has to play Dyer County on October 17th, so that's not going to be easy for the Bruins. But we're talking about region play, absolutely. If JCS can get past TCA, which TCA is a huge surprise to me too. I think we're looking at them running the table and it being either a one-loss team or a one-loss USJ team versus an undefeated JCS team for a region title. And I mean, you can't ask for anything better if you're in Jackson.
Right. No, I mean that game right there would be, and it's at USJ, but that's a game that you could potentially take and put in the Liberty Bowl. I mean that's how big that game would be. It's going to draw a lot of fans, and if there's some teams around here that aren't playing up to their caliber, there may be some fans that skip one game and go to another, and this would be the game that you could potentially do that with.
Absolutely. They're going to make it. I'll tell you what's going to happen is USJ and JCS are, because I've mapped out my schedule for the season. They're going to make it really hard for me not to go back down to Jackson for that ball game.
Yeah. I mean, definitely. It's one of those things where, USJ got the win last night over Fayette Academy, and Fayette Academy is not, one of the strongest teams in the region there. But 55-0, they put up some big points. It's one of those things where this may come down to potentially the best game in West Tennessee all year.
I mean, outside of last night's Crockett County-Dyer County game, I think you could be right. I mean, just two good teams. I don't know if it's necessary hatred. It's just a rivalry game. But they don't. I don't know how much they don't like each other. I'm not super familiar with that rivalry, but I do know it's two teams that want to win, and it's going to be for a region title. And I would love to be there. and I might be. So I don't know yet.
Yeah, it's one of those things, as you said. You might have to change your plans, and I don't know what my plans are for the last game of the season either. And so if that's the case, heck, I might even be there. It's going to be one of those things. You talked about that Crockett County Dyer County game last night. You know anything about that particular game? I mean, it was a little bit closer. Well, I don't want to say it's a little bit closer than anybody expected. I expected Crockett County to win that game, to be honest with you. I thought at home Crockett County's got maybe the edge, and I thought it might be a maybe a 3 to 1 to 3 point game. I thought it could come down to that. The 8-point victory for Dyer County. What do you think about that game?
I planned on going back tonight after some of the college games today and watching a little bit of that game to see what happened. I do know that Ryan Despain for Dyer County had a monster game. He's he plays all over the field. He's DB, wide receiver, and he had a nice game. But I'm with you. I had Crockett County winning that game. I had Crockett County running the table, honestly.
Yeah.
And what Coach Dubriel's doing over there in Newbern is wonderful. I mean, matter of fact, I'm pretty much I've decided I'll be in Newbern next weekend to watch them in Northside. Excited to watch these guys play. I'm excited to watch Northside. I know they took a upset loss to Lexington last night, but like what we talked about last week, what happens in that 7-4A? I mean, you never know what's going to happen week by week. Any team can beat any team. So, and just like next week, Northside can beat any of these teams too. So it's going to be exciting.
Yeah, I just talked with Coach Lester Narcisse of the Southside Hawks, who got their win over South Gibson last night, and so they're back into the conversation with the within the region there, just with one loss, they still got to play that. I think they played Dyer County Crockett back to back last 2 games of the season. I mean, what a slobber knocker that schedule is for any one of these teams. But yeah, I mean. Crockett County goes and beats Lexington, then they lose against Dyer County. They've got, I think they have, they have Hardin next week. They have Hardin, and I mean, I'm going to probably pick Crockett County to win that game. They're at home. They should win that game. But heck, Hardin County, we know their pedigree. They could come on the road and get a win at Crockett County.
Yeah, I know they're down, but I mean, like you said, I mean, anybody can win a game in 7-4A. But I mean, I'm with you. I think Crockett County's going to win that. And you brought out Southside. Shout out to Coach Narcisse. That's a huge win for the Hawks. That's another one I was not expecting. I wasn't expecting that. I've seen both of them, and I thought South Gibson would pull that off. But you got to give credit to Coach Narcisse and Brady Weldon, man. He's something else, isn't he?
Oh yeah.
that kid is unbelievable. He's already been a player of the game when we went to when we covered the Southside JCM game, and I think he was the player of the game last night for them. I mean. What a player there, and I'm gonna have to go back. I'm gonna have to find a way to go see Southside again. I mean, they're just another good game from them. I might just decide to stay, just somewhere along the line of 7-4A for the rest of the season.
Well, I don't think you could go wrong with the game, right? I mean, the rest of this schedule, Southside has Liberty, I think, this week. What about the Crusaders? They're now 4-0 on the season. And didn't win a game for 6 years, and now all of a sudden they rattle off 4 straight. and now they have a chance to say, okay, this is not a fluke, right? This game doesn't mean anything for any region play. They're not going to be playoff eligible, but it does mean something for the Crusaders in the grand scheme of the city bragging rights. The Commissioner's Cup implication game still on the line, because if Liberty runs the table, they could still win the Commissioner's Cup here in Jackson, and what an opportunity that would be for Liberty.
Yeah, I mean, it's unbelievable. Every time I see them win a game, I do remember those 6 years, just because every time it was just a guaranteed win. You had Liberty Tech on your schedule, and it was a win. You had that win. It's not that no more, and that's a huge credit to their coaching staff, their kids.
Yeah,
I mean, they bought in, and it would be easy just to quit and not play. And they didn't do that, and they're out there winning ball games, and people are getting excited over there at Liberty. And I mean, even people up here like me, I mean, we're noticing. I mean, I'm an hour away from Jackson, and we're noticing Liberty, and it's exciting. And Southside, I do think Southside would be the favorite here, but I mean, if you overlook the Crusaders, I mean, you might be looking at a loss. And I don't think that's something that Coach Narcisse is going to let his team do. They've already, in his eyes, they already had a slip up against Northside. I don't think he allows that for his team. But it'll be a good one. I don't know where you're going to be, but I mean, that should be a fun one too.
Yeah, I might play a little bit of like Where's Waldo next week. And maybe give away some tickets to the home opener, the preseason game for the Boom, if somebody can find me on a sideline somewhere. And the Jackson TN Boom, the semi-pro soccer team here in Jackson, kick off their home season on the 28th with preseason matchup against a professional USL team, which is just one division belower than MLS. So that's big-time folks coming in here to Jackson on the 28th, and they play over at USJ. So if you're interested in some soccer action on the weekend, that's a place to be. So I might kind of do something like that. I may give away some tickets to that and just say, hey, find the coach. If you see him on a sideline at your game, then there you go. Maybe see something like that. But, yeah, I'm going to be honest. I don't know where I'm going to be. I was scheduled to be out of town. That's not going to happen now. And so, I don't know exactly where I'll be, but I'm excited to be somewhere. And I may be at that Liberty Southside game. That may be the game to be at here in Jackson, because I'm looking at the Liberty schedule, and I understand that they kind of played a few cupcakes, to start the season. They're like the SEC. They just play some cupcakes to get some wins and maybe get high ranked and something like that. But Gibson County is a team that has struggled in years, but has beat Liberty the last 4 years in a row, I believe. And they get them at home and beat them 52-12. I mean, that's not just a turnaround because I haven't won a game against you in a year or two. That's a turnaround of not only did I beat you and haven't beaten you in 4 or 5 years, I just whooped you.
Yeah. I mean, look what Liberty's doing anyways. I mean, they're dropping 40 points, 50 points.
Yeah.
It's not like they're just squeaking by in these wins.
Right. Yeah, they're averaging 45 points a game.
Yeah. I mean, these aren't flukes. They are the better football team in all 4 of these games.
Yeah.
And, they haven't been. Like, even if, it's just, they weren't even in games the last 6 years. It was just, you show up, you don't even have to play your starters, and it was over. Now it's not that way. I mean, you're out there, they're putting up numbers, and it's exciting. It's exciting for anybody that's a Liberty Tech fan or anybody that just enjoys, football in Jackson.
Yeah. And to think, too, that, Liberty could, again, play for this Commissioner Cup. If they were to beat Southside, the next week they got Hollow Rock Brewston, which is a winnable game for them. Hollow Rock Brewston. And I kind of talked about this a little bit and went on my tirade of scolding. But Hollow Rock Rooston was in Kentucky, Fulton City, Kentucky last night, and apparently there were some threats that were made to fans and players and cheerleaders and such that they had to cancel the game in the fourth quarter, put them on a bus, and bring them home. I don't know. You know anything about that story?
I got home and watched or went to their NFHS I went and watched their game or watched the last 5 minutes of it, and all you can hear is just parents yelling on one side, which is the Fulton County side. So, I see that there's a play. I see that Fulton County takes a sweep to the sideline, and he gets gang tackled. About 10 Brewston Tigers take him to the sideline. And then from there, it just starts into a fight. And then you see parents from the other side running across the field. Then Brewston, their team, their fans, they just leave. I don't know exactly what happened. I don't know what was said. Obviously, we all read what was online. You mentioned their athletic director, I think, making a statement saying that they had made it home. I mean, what are we doing?
Yeah.
I mean, it's just, and when it all comes down to it, it's just a game. It's a football game.
Right.
It's not that. I mean, yes, you want to win the football game, but it was over. It was 3 minutes ago. You were down by 19. We don't have to just. I enjoy the passion from fans. I enjoy the passion from teams. But when we start threatening kids, and we start trying to put our hands on kids, hey, let's take a step back and look at who we are. We're not that. We're better than that, I would hope.
Yeah. I as a society, I think we have really got to, put our put life into perspective, and things that have gone on this last week has just been absolutely crazy. I don't care what political affiliation you are, or what your religious beliefs or not. It's ridiculous that anybody loses their life over the differences in opinions, and much less than now we have parents running across a football field in the middle of a game. That's we've got to do a better job as a society. This is getting stupid.
Yeah, there's a reason why I don't go to Hickman much. I go to Hubs, every once in a while, but it's just what it is. They've got to be better. We've got to be better. I mean, it's just one of those things. It's I hate that we have to talk about it.
Yeah.
Let's just talk about the game. You lost your game, you won the game. Let's go home and we can talk about it. And if you want to get online and talk trash to each other, that's fine. But let's keep it like that. Let's not.
Well,
let's keep it that.
Yeah, I think I made reference earlier in the show about if you want to be the fan or the parent that stands up and just yells, "You suck," it makes you look stupid. It's probably a little bit embarrassing, especially for your kids, but there's no threat out of that. There's no physical or mental imminent threat. But when you step out of the stands onto a field, or you start to say you should die in a car accident on your way home or something to that extent, that kind of stuff has got to stop. Like you said, if you want to talk a little trash, I mean, in the end, you and I didn't agree with the Gridiron top 10 last week. Number 1 and 2 spots. Most everything else we were okay with, but you thought Westview should have been a number 1, and our crew picked to be. We've got a group of pickers, and they picked Covington, and as far as the vote's concerned, and that's what we went with. And it's like, okay, I didn't necessarily agree with that 100%. Now I debuted it on the show, so I set it out, but just because I didn't disagree or I didn't agree with it or you didn't agree with it, we didn't go to social media and start bashing each other and saying, this is the worst person in the world, they should lose their life over this or blah blah blah. Just be grown-ups and say, especially if you're a grown-up, be a grown-up and choose to disagree and move on. It's just ridiculous.
I'm with you there. Let's just it comes a time where you just got to look at yourself and say, hey, I'm grown. Let's I mean, even it just let's just be mature about things. I mean,
Right.
yeah, I disagree with a lot of people. Like, I mean, if we were going on with, I would be in a lot of fights, and people would be coming after me if we automatically went with opposite opinions, and because I mean, I would have an opposite opinion of a lot of people, and
Right.
I think people would. I'm very, very thankful that I'm not out here, getting threats. You know, but that's where we're at. Like, let's just be adults.
Yeah.
And that's all I try to be. Like, let's just try to be an adult. I've been a kid long enough. It's time to be an adult and grow up, and let's just look. I watch football. I watch football and I cover football for a living. Like, and that's what I want to talk about. I don't want to have to answer questions about parents trying to fight children.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not what I like to do.
No, not at all.
And it happens at a football game, and that's where we're at. And
Yeah.
I don't like it. It's
Yeah.
that's not my forte.
Yeah, unfortunately, as an administrator of school, an athletic director of school, in my day, I've had to remove parents because they're making inappropriate comments towards officials, towards students, towards this, that, and there's just no place. And I think, at this point in time, I hope those individuals that did that at Fulton County, Kentucky, are held accountable for their actions. In my opinion, at the very least, maybe those parents don't ever need to come back to a sporting event at any school that Fulton, Kentucky is at or at home. And if you put a precedent out there, then maybe some of this stuff will stop. And I just hope, for the sake of our world, I'm not even just talking about the country, our world, we've got to be better as people. We've got to be more humane, and empathy needs to be, one of our main concerns, and instead of hate. It's just crazy. Let's get back to football, though.
Hey, let me. We're talking about Brewston. Brewston. Congratulations to those guys.
Yeah,
they're 4-0.
4-0.
Brady Roberts. I saw last night their wide receiver officially became the school leader in receiving yards. What accomplishment for him.
Yeah.
Now they get Liberty Tech. What is it? No, the
2
following
weeks.
week, right?
Yep. October 3rd. October 3rd. So 3 weeks.
Okay. So, their schedule's about to get hard. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, they're in McKenzie's region, so they're eventually going to get the Rebels in McKenzie. So, but congratulations to Brewston. That's another team I wasn't expecting to be 4-0.
Right.
You would have asked me that start of the season, I wouldn't have told you that they were going to be 4-0. And another team that I wanted to mention today is South Fulton. Never thought. I mean, you lose everybody on that team except maybe 2 or 3 players, and they're starting off the season 3-0 after a big win against Greenfield, 21-20 last night. Coach Cole Clinton has got the Red Devils on fire over there.
Yeah, they have been a tough team. I've seen them several times in my tenure as an athletic director and principal and coach, and they always come to play. There's never a game that they don't think they can win and compete in. Now, they might get beat in the end, but they put up a good showing.
Yeah, I don't know if I'll ever get to go to a South Fulton game this year. I'm going to try, but I am very excited about the future of the Red Devils under Coach Clinton, and the rest of their staff. I know they got Coach Jaquay Garman as their offensive coordinator. He was a big-time star for South Fulton as a quarterback. But you got players like Josh McKnight, who went for like almost 300 yards rushing the other day. I don't know any stats from last night, but they're going to battle for 7-1A. They're going to get Dresden soon, and I know that Dresden's a favorite, but hey, South Fulton's coming, so it's going to be exciting. That might be the one I decide to go to.
Yeah, that would be a good game as well. Down the road. So when you look at this Liberty, we'll just kind of finish up with them real quick, this Liberty schedule. They've got Southside next week, then they got Hollow Rock Brewston, as we were talking about. to keep in the Commissioner's Cup race here. Then they take on Northside. If they beat Northside, Northside and them would be tied in wins. Also, they would have the head-to-head over Northside. So it would come down to that Jackson Central Mary game on the 17th at the new Hub City Center over there on next to the old Oman Arena. And, I mean, again, Liberty Tech having some opportunities there. What else stuck out to you last night in West Tennessee high school football?
All right, let's see. I know, I told you before we went on there about Westview and Obion County being in the 10. I think Westview kind of showed who they were last night. I know Graham Simpson went out right before halftime, because the game was already in hand, but he was 14 of 14 going in that game. That team, there is two trains going at each other, waiting for October 31st with Covington and Westview.
Yeah. And
I cannot wait. I mean, I don't see any team getting in their way. And I find it hard to believe that there's a team that couldn't, or Covington getting better after losing a Mr. Football. They got better.
Yeah.
But I still, I don't know about your crew or your people, but I still think Westview's won, but I think Covington's too, and I think they're going to stay that way until that final game.
Yeah, I think
that's my main thing from last night. Those two teams they're still the class of West Tennessee.
Yeah, Covington, you talked about them. They got the 49-0 victory over Brighton last night, and then Westview, I think it was 57-13.
Yes.
Victory over Obion.
6-0 at halftime.
Yeah. And so, I mean, they were rolling there. And as you say, you start to set some starters when you're up that big, and you want to make sure, obviously, that you have, especially when the game's out of hand, that you have those guys for the next week. And so Graham goes to the bench, as he did a lot last year. And so we didn't see that quite so much in this first part of the season because they struggled out of the gate a little bit. And I think that's the anonymous pickers of the Gridiron Top 10, I think, looked at that just a little bit and said, well, the only team that Covington really had an issue with was the other team that's got Georgia commits and Missouri commits, and that was with Haywood, but they were up 55-32 at one point and ended up winning that game 55-42. So,
right.
So who did Westview potentially play out of the gate? They played Mace, but Mace is not. They're not the caliber of Haywood either. They beat them 34-0, but they struggled a little bit. Then Marshall County. Marshall County is probably a team that is probably right now. Marshall County might have been the best team on their schedule so far.
Oh, it is. It absolutely is.
Right, and they handled them no problem, 43-14.
Right.
And then again last night, Obion much better than I thought they were going to be this year as well. They come in and win the first three games of their season. Now we probably knew that this game was going to end up the way it did, and they took the loss. But when you take a loss to the runner-up to the state champ last year, and a sophomore quarterback that's just getting better. I mean, that's crazy to think. You're talking about those things, but Obion had a tough task last night, and they ran into the wall that is the Westview Chargers. And as you said, I don't think Westview has anybody in their and they play Lausanne. I don't know anything about Lausanne this year. I don't think that there'll be an issue for Westview. Dyersburg, could Westview be looking ahead to Covington and get snuck up on by Dyersburg? Is that a possibility?
Obviously, it's possible. It's absolutely possible. But I mean, you can't overlook that Dyersburg team.
No,
there is still a lot of talent on that team. So they absolutely need to. I mean, and I don't see that happening. I don't. But that's a team that can compete with Westview. Do I think they win? No. But I absolutely think that they can compete with them. It's and if Westview decides that they're not going to show up in the first half, I think it could be similar to what they saw at Marshall County, where it was 21-14 at halftime. And then you finally have to realize, hey, we've got to play ball, or they're going to beat us.
Yeah.
You know. So, and when they do, when Westview does, there's not a team that can stop them. When they decide that it's go time, there's not a team that can stop them. And I've seen it time and time again. And it's unbelievable what they can do.
Yeah, definitely. And with the perennial college high school team that is Alcoa out of the way, I mean, you got to think that the winner of the October 31st game between Covington and Westview may be the next state championship. Maybe the next state champion.
Yeah, it could be. And I'm looking over there on that east side. It's nowhere near as I mean, when it was just Alcoa over there, you just thought it was. I kind of just thought it was stacked over there, but it's not. It really isn't. The favorite is those two teams.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, one of those two teams is going to lose in the semifinals or possibly the quarterfinals. You know how? I mean, with the way the playoffs are, they're all weird this year.
Right.
So we could be possibly seeing one of those teams go out in the quarterfinals. So, and then Melrose, because Melrose will be there in the semifinals or the quarterfinals also. So it's just one of those things. I'm not. I am a fan of it. I hate that one of those two teams aren't going to be playing, or both of those teams should be playing for a state title. Honestly.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, they're over here on the West.
Right. And then you throw teams like Melrose. I mean, theoretically, Melrose could be playing for a state title too. I mean, they're talented. I don't think they would be. I think that Covington or Westview would beat them. But I mean, I think now with Alcoa out of the way, the west side of the state is stacked, and dare we say, with 2 more years after this year with Westview and Simpson, I mean, heck, we could see the state championship, the state champion coming out of West Tennessee for the next foreseeable future.
I honestly think so. And I've told people, and I'm not afraid to say this out loud, I don't think that, and I can be proven wrong, anybody can lose on any given Friday, but I have said to some people that I think that Westview doesn't lose a game over the next 3 years and they win the state title 3 straight years. And I just think that they're that good. I think that they will be that good. Obviously, injuries can happen and all of these things, but that was just one of my predictions. I don't think that they lose the ball game. But I also didn't take into account that I think that Covington is better than they were last year.
Right.
And I found that hard to believe for myself. So we'll see. I'm excited for it. That's where I'll be for Halloween. I will be watching Westview and Covington. But like I said earlier, JCS and USA are going to make it difficult for me. I was hoping one of them would be on Thursday and the other one would be on Friday, but that's not the case.
Yeah, it may be something that I don't know if I'm calling a game that night because I don't call every week. So if that's the case, maybe I live stream at one game and you just live stream at the other, and we just stay on the live stream of our cell phones all night and just go back and forth.
Yeah, that sounds good. Or I'll just talk because I like to hear myself talk. So.
I mean,
so that could be what I do.
Yeah, those 2 games right there, obviously the Westview Covington game might overshadow every game in the state that night. But the USJ JCS game, especially if USJ runs the table, that's going to be a heck of a game too. And what a way to wrap up the regular season in West Tennessee, having those 4 teams going at it on a Friday night. at least you only have to flip a coin once to go to which one am I going to go to, because it's crazy to think that if I had to have another 2 or 3 games out there that could be of that caliber. And theoretically, you've got, Dyer County or Crockett County going to be playing somebody that night too. Could that be a game that could be a playoff implication for 4A? That's wow. There's some really good football in West Tennessee this year.
Yeah, and that's the point of what I was wanting. Like, what we wanted to start with the Gridiron Blitz. We wanted to showcase football starting out in West Tennessee, showing that it is really good football, and that's what we're doing. We've gotten really good football all across, from all the way up from the north of the state all the way down to Memphis, and that's what we're going to continue doing, is showing how great we've got it over here. Now, eventually, I'll be moving to the whole state, but right now we're getting to showcase how good football is over here.
Yeah, definitely. Speaking of Graham Simpson, there's another Simpson playing today. Ty, he's 4th down inside their 50. And,
I'm watching. I've got 2 TVs set up right now here in my living room. I've got Clemson and Georgia Tech on one, and Alabama and Wisconsin on the other. It's going to be a great day for me, as long as my Vols beat Georgia at 2:30. But up until then, I'm going to enjoy my time watching football, and I might even bring another TV in here so I can watch 3 games at once.
Yeah. So they failed to convert the 4th down there due to the Tide, but boy, what a game for Ty Simpson last week, and kind of getting that confidence after that loss. And it looks like, of course, I think they set the Alabama record for points in a game last.
That, and he also broke the record, the SEC record for I think completions without an. He went 14 or 14 or 17 or 17 in the first half, which broke an SEC record. And then that meant quarterbacks like Peyton Manning never did that.
Right.
And that's unbelievable that his name is up there above people like Peyton and Jalen Hurts. I'm just trying to think of people that are Tim Tebow, all these guys that Stafford, all these guys that were so good in college. Johnny Manziel, and he's number 1 on that list right now. They went 17-17 in the first time.
Yeah, it's the list goes on. Like Eli, Eli was a pretty good quarterback. Very, very accurate. He wasn't the best quarterback that ever played the game, but very accurate in college. You said Stafford. Of course, Cam Newton was there. Not as accurate in college as he could be. His legs were different. But Peyton, Tim Tebow, I think a guy who was really accurate, I think, in college was Rex Grossman. He played for the Bears back in the day, and a little bit, and but he was really
national champion Rex Grossman.
Yeah, right. So, but he was very accurate in college, and so then you can go back pretty far to like Danny Warfel and farther back like Ken Stabler and Brett Starr. They all played in the SEC. Not sure about their stats, but when your name is above all of those guys, that is a list that you go, wow, okay, all right, something you did something, that.
And it don't matter who you played.
Right.
It don't matter that it was Louisiana Monroe. They had just looked. And obviously the opponents are different with Florida State. They didn't look great in that, but what a way to bounce back. There was a lot of people in between that Florida State and Louisiana Monroe game that were down on Ty. I had seen people all over the internet talking about how that he should immediately lose his job. And it goes back on that very next week and goes 17-17 in the first half. They scored the most points in Alabama history. Hey, is that not some shut up juice right there? It's really cool to see. It's really cool to see, even from this Tennessee ball who cannot stand Alabama. It's really cool to see somebody like Ty, who's from right here, 10 minutes away from my house, and I got to watch him play in high school. Do what he does, do what he gets to do, and it's pretty fun.
Yeah, Alabama punts the ball away, and they turn the ball over in downs, and then immediately get the interception. So Alabama back in the driver's seat here. So we'll see Ty back on the field. You talked about that game that's going on over in Knoxville today, Georgia versus the Volunteers. And I think it's number 6 versus number 15, maybe. But
I think it's somewhere around there. I'm not too worried about those rankings.
What are you giving your Vols today?
I'm over here a nervous wreck like I always am. I don't know. If there's a time to beat Georgia, it's this time. Tennessee has the talent to compete with them. I don't know about the depth, but this is a team that can compete with Georgia. Georgia's still Georgia. They don't have, the quarterback positions. Gunnar Stockton's pretty decent, but there is no Carson Beck's not walking through the door. He doesn't throw the ball downfield. I think he averages in the air. The ball averages like 1 yard, like throughout the season. He's thrown the ball on average down the field 1.6 yards per play. He's not throwing the ball downfield. He's just dinking and dunking it.
Right.
So if that's the case, I think Tennessee's got a good shot. But obviously, Kirby Smart has had Josh Heupel's number. He's had it for. He knows how to beat that offense.
Yeah.
So that's what that worries me, because Kirby Smart is. After Saban retires, I think he is. He's probably the guy. He's the best. He's the one. So I don't know. I'm very optimistic, but I'm also terrified. So for me, it's just go Vols. Let's not. I hope we win. Let's not. I got a good win against Georgia. It's been 8 years.
Hey, let's go back to the last time I think Georgia or Tennessee beat Georgia, and I think there was a quarterback. I think was it.
It was Josh Dobbs. It was
Dobbs.
2016.
Yeah, Dobbs. And who was the coach of that game? I think there was a guy.
Yeah, it was Butch Jones.
Got to give some love. How many Tennessee fans hate Butch Jones? Just
me included. But hey, he is the last one to beat Georgia. But also, I will say this: that Georgia team that he beat was the last time I thought, because I think it was Kirby's first year, maybe even his second. It was the last time that Georgia was mediocre.
Yeah.
They were still 25th in the country that year, but that was the last time that Georgia was ever even almost, I guess, against Alabama. But it was the last time they were ever even an underdog.
Yeah.
They are what he's done with that team. Every year, just number 1, number 2 recruiting class in the country. It's unbelievable. I would love for my guys to be like that. I hate even admitting that I would like to be more like Georgia. But outside of the off the field stuff, I would like our team to be more like Georgia. But what he's done over there is amazing.
Yeah.
And all they do is recruit 5 stars. And they win football games, and that's what. If you're a fan of a college team, you would love for your team to be just like that.
Yeah, no doubt. Speaking of a team that wins football games in college, and that's the Memphis Tigers. They're up on Troy 7-0 right now. But what about Memphis? They're a team. Obviously, they're not SEC, they're not Big Ten, and nobody's really talking about any team that's not in those two categories. Maybe a little bit out of the Big 12, but maybe a Clemson out of the ACC, but. Really, and of course, another game, I'll ask you about this a little bit later, but maybe Miami as well. But Memphis here in Tennessee, I think, because of the Volunteers, Memphis really gets overshadowed. But Memphis 2-0 to start the season.
Yeah, and they're playing a team that almost upset Clemson last week.
Mm-hmm.
And they weren't favored. Memphis was – I think Memphis was favored, but – wasn't by much. look, Memphis is one of those teams that now they can go through a coach. Doesn't matter who the coach is. They've turned that program around there, and all they do is win. You know, occasionally they'll have a year that they go 6-6 or something like that. But I mean, most of the time we're looking at a team that's winning 9 and 10 games a year. And I mean, you're a fan of the Tigers. What more can you ask for?
Right.
And they've got talent. I mean, there's NFL players coming out of Memphis almost every year. So I'm excited to see what they do. I have them winning the ball game today in some picks that I have with some friends. So I expected them to take down Troy even after Troy almost upset the number 12 team in the country. So Tigers are rolling. I'm about to see ties, about to almost took it in the end zone on this play right here. But yeah, no, I like the Tigers. Thankfully I don't have to root against them, so that's a good thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think they probably end up blowing Troy out today because I think it's a letdown for Troy, and they'll go 3-0. And then I don't know admittedly don't know who's on their schedule, but I think that they have a good shot of winning the ACC or the AAC or the American. And, they'll have to beat somebody like USF, who I know we were about to get ready to talk about.
Yeah, I mean, that's a huge game down in Miami, and probably not very many folks giving South Florida other than McAfee. I think he picked them on College Game Day today. I think South Florida not getting much love there, but it seems like about every 4 to 5, maybe 6 years, South Florida comes up with a team that goes and competes and pulls off some big wins, and it looks like maybe that's this year.
Alex Gullish is my favorite coach outside of Josh Heupel because he is a Tennessee guy. He came from Tennessee. He was the offensive coordinator when Tennessee beat Alabama for the first time in 17 or 18 years. I love Alex Gullish, and when his team beats Florida in the Swamp, it made me happier than I could have ever been.
Oh yeah.
Now you get Miami this week. Miami ain't Florida. They're just not. Carson Beck at quarterback. That team is talented, top to bottom. Now, if you show up like Florida did, think that you're going to just beat South Florida, then Gullish and company is going to be walking out of Miami with another win. But I don't think that happens today. I think the dream run ends, but you can't. It's amazing what Gullish has done in 2 years at South Florida. Yeah. They go, when he took over, I think they were, below 500, and then last year they struggled at times, losing games they had absolutely no business losing to. And this year, he brought back his quarterback, which everybody thought that he was going to get a transfer. And they come out and they not only did they beat Boise State in week 1, they smacked them. And then week 2, you get Florida, and nobody thought you'd win that game either, and you kind of dominated it. Your score was close, but you dominated that football game. And now you get a chance to do it again, and they can be, and I saw this on Game Day this morning, they can be the first team since the 1987 Miami Hurricanes to start the season with 3 straight wins against AP top 25 teams.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. Yeah,
so,
they have.
I'm rooting for them. But I don't think that they get it done.
Yeah, I don't. I think that's too tall of a task in Miami. Maybe if they were going up against Arkansas or somebody, maybe they have a better chance. But or maybe if Florida was this week, Speaking of Florida, though, do we see a coaching change after this week? I would assume that Florida goes down to LSU big today.
It's unbelievable. Every time you think Billy Napier is about to get fired, he somehow weasels his way out of it. And look, you've got a 5-star quarterback sitting there, playing for you, and you can just say, well, he's still young, and he's, we're just growing pains. For me, it's, we see what Florida is. We've seen what they are. That doesn't mean here in a few more weeks they're not going to beat Tennessee, and I'm going to be, you know what I'm saying? Because that's just what I'm used to. We're going to the Swamp, they'll beat Tennessee. It's just how it works. But he finds a way to keep his job. So, today you are heavily favored against, like heavy underdogs against LSU, who LSU now is a national championship contender. Would I be surprised if Billy Napier's team and DJ Lagway wins? No. And it would just be and I think it's just more infuriating to Florida fans who are just ready for him to be gone.
Yeah.
But people inside, and I keep reading this and I keep seeing this, people inside of Florida and the football program absolutely love Billy Napier.
Yeah.
So I don't understand it. I mean, if I'm Florida, if I'm a Florida fan, I want him gone because we're not winning like we used to.
Right.
Being a non-Florida fan, I hope he sticks around forever. So I don't know. It's just one of those things. So I don't understand it sometimes.
Right.
I don't understand it. It's an anomaly. Like it's he should have been fired last year, and then they go off and win 6 or 7 games, like 6 out of the last 7 games, and saves his job. Now he was started off where they had all the hype in the world, and they lose to South Florida in week 2, and now he's fighting for his job again. So I don't know. They'll win today probably.
Just finding a way to do it. Hey, the other team or the other game in the SEC that intrigues me today is the unranked Arkansas Razorbacks taking on number 17 Ole Miss. What you got in that particular game?
And am I right here? It is in Ole Miss.
It is at Ole Miss. Yes, it is at Ole Miss.
With it being in Oxford, I'm gonna go with Ole Miss. If this was in Fayetteville or wherever, I mean they play at 2 different stadiums in Arkansas. If it was in Arkansas, I'd almost pick the upset. Ole Miss struggled against Kentucky last week, but playing at home in the SEC or anywhere for that matter means so much more. And I
definitely.
Lane Kiffin is still a good coach. I don't know about their quarterback. He still makes a lot of mistakes from what I've seen. I watched a little bit of that Kentucky Ole Miss game, and he definitely wasn't the best player. He definitely messed up quite a bit, but Arkansas's vastly improved from last season.
Right.
But their schedule has been nothing exciting either. We're about to find out who they are, and that's another coach that's definitely on the hot seat. But I'm going to go with Ole Miss. I'm one of the few Tennessee fans that like Lane Kiffin. I think he's a character. I think he's perfect for college football.
Oh yeah, 100%.
So I think I think they win. And I'm not one of these guys. I'm also not one of these guys that scream SEC whenever they win a title. I've never been that guy. But I do kind of root for Ole Miss most of the time. The rest of the time, I don't care if any of the SEC wins a game. That's kind of how I've been my whole life.
Yeah.
I don't understand the SEC or the conference pride thing. I don't care about it.
Right.
If my team loses, I don't care that Alabama won a national title or Georgia won a national title.
Yeah.
But I do root. I kind of root for Ole Miss. I don't know. I like Lane Kiffin, and I hate that I admitted that out loud.
Well, I was going to say, I think you and about 24 other people in the country. So
that's it.
Hey,
that is it.
That's it. You heard it right there. The Real Weeks on Twitter and Instagram, Gridiron Blitz, and make sure you give them a follow and love them out there, working hard on a sideline every Friday night somewhere in West Tennessee, and as you said, eventually across the state. And hey, man, it's going to happen. There might be a Weeks in the Coach podcast coming out soon. Maybe, I don't know. We'll see.
I'm all in. Like I told you, I like to hear myself talk. So
yeah, we'll talk college football. Well, let's take that one away from high school since we do this show, and you're welcome to come on anytime. So we'll take that one maybe just to the college ranks and do a college recap each week or something. Who knows?
That sounds good to me.
All right, man. Hey, I got my last guest coming in for the morning, Coach Eric Turner of the JCM Cougars, and he's looking like he might eat me for breakfast here if I don't get this interview in. And so I'm going to let you go, and we will talk again soon, and we'll see you on a sideline somewhere next Friday night.
Yes, sir. See you, Coach.
Have a good one, man.
You too.
Stephen Weeks of the Gridiron Report right here on Sports Talk Live with the coach, and make sure you give them a follow. The Real Weeks on Instagram and Twitter. Follow him. They do a great job of covering high school football as well, and make sure you show them some love. And the man to my right here, although you see on the screen Stephen Weeks' picture, let me go ahead and remove that because that's not the man sitting next to me. The man sitting next to me is the head coach of the JCM Cougars, Coach Eric Turner. And Coach, good morning, sir. How you doing?
Good morning. I'm doing well, and you?
I am great. We've had a great show this morning. Kind of kicked it off with a little basketball talk. I don't need these anymore. The Northside Indians in the studio, and basketball is right around the corner, man. We're week 5. The season this week is half over.
Flying by.
And so that round ball will be out quicker than we know it. I saw the anomaly that we call Kendall Dancy in the stands last night.
Oh yeah, he's always in the stands Friday night rooting us on.
Man, Kendall Dancy, what a great guy, and he and I have got to play some basketball on some adult men leagues back in the day, and I mean he was an athlete now.
He can still stroke it.
Yeah. I'm not sure he's going to run up and down the court.
No, he can spot up and shoot.
But he'll spot up and shoot in a heartbeat.
Shoot.
Coach, you guys ran into the Tide last night. Looked like you had your chance, and everybody will always say the Cougars had an issue. The clock wasn't working. The Tide stole time. I've already heard it this morning. It's people calling me last night on the way home. What was the clock issue? Why did the clock stop running? Why? And of course, we're trying to stream it and trying to keep with an official, so we didn't have accurate time. I'm just going to say this. There have been clock issues at Lane College, Rothrock Stadium, home of the Cougars, home of the Dragons, home of Union back in the day. It's probably gone on since Union was there. Probably the curse of Paul Bear Bryant leaving Union University caused the clock to screw up. That clock has never worked appropriately.
Right. I mean, we tried our best. I mean, they tried their best to keep it. Like I said, trying to keep the time and coach the game and you control what we can control.
Yeah.
We can't control the time. We can try to, see what goes on and check in. But like I said, we just got to make sure if it's extra minutes that were not given, we got to make sure that we maximize the minutes that we're playing. So if it's extra minutes, mosquito trying to get me over here.
It's like
if it's extra minutes, whatever, we just got to control the X's and O's part of it. And then if we control that, I mean, if it's more time or less time, it's fine.
First half of that game was fairly even. You guys had your opportunities to drive and didn't capitalize. They had some opportunities. They drove, capitalized on a few of theirs. But in the second half, you guys came out with a mentality of defense and really stuck it to the Tide there in their first few drives. But just couldn't capitalize offense. What was it for the Cougars last night?
That was it. I mean, we got behind the chains. It was the curse of the first 2 games. I mean, they won the field position battle when they pinned us deep, and we didn't get in. We shot ourselves in the foot trying to get out of those holes, and like I said, and things like that. And then we turned the ball over. We had a turnover deep in our territory. But we got to stay on schedule. We just got to win first down, and we got to move the chains. And that's how we have to play. I mean, there's any offense you can't play behind the chains. So we just got to do a better job of winning first down and staying on schedule and putting us in a position that we can that our playbook is wide open.
Yeah, you talked about that. I saw some big runs out of your quarterback last night. Obviously, you got behind the sticks, like you said, and then started to have to throw a little bit. But he was able. You guys were, I think, first. You had a good run back on one of the kick returns that was called back by a penalty, holding or blocking the back or something. I think it puts you guys inside the 5. So you're starting your drive, had to go the whole length of the field almost, and you guys were third down in that situation, and a big run out of your quarterback to get you the first down there. Talk about his play last night.
He played well. Like I said, he shows poise as a senior, as a 4-year starter. He showed poise, and actually, he called that play. So I said, if he's confident enough to call the play, I'm gonna call it. I'm gonna let him run it because he's been the captain of the ship. So he's confident in putting the ball in his hands in that situation. I'm gonna give him a chance because he sees it. He's on the field, so actually that's what he wanted on that play. So sometimes you got to let the players play. They out there in the field and they feel confident about something. You got to show them that you have confidence in them and what they see and how they feeling, and kind of let them make a play. And that's what he did on that play.
Yeah, definitely. Some big moments in the game for him and number 14. Receiver caught 2 touchdowns last night.
He caught one. Let me see. He caught the slant for the touch. 11 caught the slant for the touch.
Okay, 11.
Yeah,
so
11.
I
think
it was 14.
Yeah, so 11. I think 11 caught 2 and 14 1. I believe.
Okay. All right. So, but some big plays there, wide receiver style. Just in the end, too much tide.
Right.
Jennings in the backfield.
That's a big boy, yeah. and he plays that way. You got to match it,
right?
Because like I said, he was running that ball. He doesn't come out the field. He's the anchor of the defense and the offense. Yeah. They go as he goes, and he went last night.
He did.
We didn't match their intensity,
right.
And then when it all boils down to it, man. Like I said, from the sidelines to on the field, we didn't match their intensity as a group. Like I said, not the players, coaches, all of us. We're one. So we got to do a better job. I got to do a better job. We got to match that intensity, and we got to be able to rise to the occasion and execute on both sides of the ball.
Yeah.
Like I said, we showed sign. Like I said, coming out the second half, and we begin the game like we started the second half.
Right.
It may be a different game, but we can't go off what could have been. We just know what happened.
Yeah, and I think too there after that drive by Peabody there, you had I think 3 consecutive stops, and then they made that drive that punched it in and put them up. I think it was 31-13 at that point, maybe in the game. It kind of just looked like it deflated the Cougars just a little bit there.
Right.
That drive.
Right. It did, but we were able to scratch and claw and get it back into a 10-point game with 9 minutes left. And then at that point, we got to understand the task at hand. We just got to dig in even more, and the intensity has to increase even more, so that we can get back in the game and give us a shot to win.
Tab Val was out at midfield talking to the official, I would assume, about the clock because at that point the official up top leaves the press box, comes down to the sideline, and they keep the clock there, and that's the thing. So anybody that's ever coached or played at Rothrock Stadium knows that there's going to be a clock issue. You just go with it. Peabody was in control of the game really at that point. It was a 10-point lead for the Tide at that point, but you felt like they had the game in control, and I'm thinking Coach Val is like, hey, there should be, we should be into the fourth quarter by now. This game should be close to being over. About 3 minutes left by my calculations. I'm sure is what he was saying. The officials took care of it. Ray Washington, the head official last night, does a great job. Like I said, they got it under control and took care of it. I think when we ended the game, we had about 2 minutes left on our clock. So, if we're 2 minutes off, you could say one way or the other.
Right.
It wasn't that much of a deal, I don't think. Sometimes people that run the clock for these streams, they don't know football. So did they really know that the official stopped the clock? Did they let a couple seconds run off, this or that? I mean, there could be some time difference in a whole football game of a minute or so. But the end, you talked about it, was a play on the field that was the difference in that game.
Yeah, it wasn't the clock issue in it. I mean, it was the play on the field.
1-3 on the season right now. The first loss in region play to the Tide. Tide look like they're rolling. Tide's coming in and coming in quick for them. But you guys got another tough opponent next week, the 19th, when you guys go on the road to Huntington. What's the mentality today look like for Coach getting prepared for the Mustangs next week?
First, like it always is every week, we got to fix us. We got to correct our mistakes, see what we did wrong, see what we did good, see what we can how we can get us to do more of the good things and less of the bad things, and then we look at the opponent, and then we try to scheme the opponent, see what they do well, see what we can do well against them. But it always starts with us. Like I start to preach to them, it's us versus us every week. We respect our opponent because we know it doesn't get easy anytime. It's all, but we got to fix us, and if we can fix us, we'll bode well against our opponents if we do the things that we're supposed to do. Like I said, the Huntington team, they're tough. Another championship pedigree team, and we got to understand that we're trying to get to where they are, all right, because we're rebuilding. So we got to be able to have that mindset that by any means necessary, we're going to do the things that we need to do. So we got to figure out how to make us better as a team first, and then we got to figure out how we can attack them offensively and defensively so that we can be successful.
Most definitely. And then after Huntington, probably one of the best games in West Tennessee last year was the Cougars and the Bulldogs at Milan in that regular season game, and then take it into the playoffs. Another great game. First game went your way. The second game, I think you would have flip-flopped that.
Right.
You'd have rather the second game go your way. But Milan ended up getting that 14-7 win in the playoffs there. But the Milan Bulldogs, so I know people are looking for that. I think a lot of talk now is starting to bounce around Jackson and West Tennessee about the opening of the Hub City Center. And I know for you that's a sore subject in a lot of different ways. One, there may not be a name of the Cougars on the field. That could be an issue people talking about. As a coach, the name doesn't play the game, right? So you got to go out and do your job. But just as a generalized question, because I'm not going to ask you about it, we're supposed to cover that game on October 3rd. When you're building a house, there could be a lot of things go wrong the last few weeks getting that house and opening the door with the key to move in on the day it's supposed to. My dad was a builder. I saw very few houses where the keys were turned over the day that they were supposed to be. It always seemed like it was a week or two later or a month or so later. Weather issues, material issues didn't come in on time, whatever reasons. How on schedule are we for that opening game on October 3rd?
I don't know.
Okay. All right.
I don't know. I know it's supposed to open on the 3rd. That's supposed to be the date. I mean, I don't know how far along, if they're on schedule. I'm assuming they're on schedule. We'll see.
Right.
Okay. They
we're
said
going to try to reach out to the central office this week and
right.
Find
So we're planning. We're going to play there on the 3rd. I don't know. I just know we're going to play somewhere on the 3rd.
Is the field at Rothrock open on the 3rd?
Yes.
Okay.
So that was So we don't play there. We would play. We would continue to play at Rothrock.
Right. Clock issues and all. I mean, I didn't say that out loud. No.
Right. So we maybe have to get the clock from Hub City and take it to the Rock.
I don't think somehow that's going to happen.
Nah, it's not.
Don't see that one coming down anytime soon.
It's just one. Right. It's just one of those things. Yeah. Like I said, we can't control the clock. We just gotta make sure we control the product.
Yeah. Are you an Alabama fan?
I'm a SEC fan, so
yeah.
I like. I was a Nick Saban fan. I liked his coaching style, his attention to detail, his discipline he had with his team. I like the culture that he created. The player-led culture.
Yeah.
And he didn't have to say everything. He had the guys in the locker room that was going to uphold the Alabama culture. And they knew what it meant and knew what it stood for. And you kind of see, like I said, no shade at the new coach, but every coach got a different philosophy. So it's not everybody's not Nick Saban or whatever. So, but I was a Nick Saban fan, Tennessee fan, but a fan of the SEC football. I just like they always played a different style of football.
Right. Yeah, Alabama scores there. Ty Simpson getting his third start here in the season, and so far doing well. They're up 14-0. So Gibson County at home on the 3rd of October. Again, opening of the Hub City Center. And I know you as a coach hate this question, but looking ahead, because it's not about what's ahead, it's about what's next week, because that's the season you're worried about. The Crusaders rolling right now. They get a big win over Gibson County last night, 52-12, I think it was the score. Probably the biggest story out of Jackson right now is the Crusaders being 4-0, even overshadowing what even some of the private schools are doing at 4-0 because of their years. There's a scenario that I took a phone call at about 2 a.m. this morning, going, Coach, you got to talk about this on the show tomorrow with everybody. I said, okay, well, tell me what it's about. And first of all, why are you calling me at 2 a.m.?
Right.
To talk football. But I'll talk football just about any time of the day or night. And so the conversation is Liberty plays Southside next week. They beat Southside. They're 1-0 in the Commissioner's Cup race. Say they go to Northside 2 weeks later and they beat Northside, and they're 2-0 in the Commissioner's race. I said, well, that means that they could be Commissioner's Cup champs. That game would come down to Liberty at JCM on the 17th. And he says, can Liberty run the table? So, well, they're 4-0 right now. Anybody winning ball games starts to build confidence to win ball games.
Right.
So you better not take Liberty for granted anymore. That's all I got to say.
No.
I know you're not looking ahead, but Liberty's season right now is the Commissioner Cup and the fact that they've broken the streak. The streak is over. It's not just one win. It's not just 2 wins. They're 4 wins into this. Give props over to Liberty Tech right now, what they're doing. But your kids could spoil the Commissioner's Cup for Liberty. Spoil the season. Take them down. I know it's not on your mind, but the kids talk a little bit about this because they're kids. What is the talk coming out of Cougar Camp about Liberty and their success and the fact that they're right now competing? No losses in the Commissioner Cup race. So they're competing for the Commissioner's Cup.
We don't talk about it. We know like I said, we week to week. We'll talk about it when we get there. But Liberty, they're doing a great job. Coach Gillard had a plan coming in. Like I said, last year, he really couldn't. He came in at a point that he really didn't have a opportunity to kind of put his finger on it, but he was able to assess his situation, and now he had a plan, and he's implementing his plan, and it's working well. And everybody knows that winning games builds confidence in your team, and you start to walk a different way, you start to play a different way, and you kind of play you play a different way. So they're doing a great job over there. But like I said, we don't talk about the Commissioner Cup implications of playing Liberty, or we don't talk about what ifs. We just talk about what is. So when that time get there, it won't be us spoiling Liberty's Commissioner Cup. There'll be opportunities. It'll be us trying to beat Liberty and being 1-0 that week. So that's how we just try to keep everything in perspective and not look at things outside of our next opponent.
And the next opponent is tough enough to worry about.
Correct. You cut the film on, and those guys seem like Huntington been doing that for years. They have been doing it for years, and it's like Groundhog Day. Every year you cut the film on, they got guys mauling folks. They got people kicking. They got 5 people pulling around the corner. You got a quarterback that's gonna keep it. And those guys, they're good at what they do, and they got a mindset of this is how we got to play football. And it starts from their little league. They run it in the middle school. They run it, and then they get to high school. They run it. So they're well-oiled machines when they get to high school because they run the same stuff on each level of football, and it's a mindset that they have, and it's a style of play as a city, as a team. I mean, it's a mindset that they have that they're gonna come out and they're gonna run that. Like I said, is in these days, 2025 is unconventional for most, but that's what works for them, and it fits the players they have, so they're gonna do it, and then they do it well.
Right. Yeah, you see obviously the spurts that football goes through, especially the offensive styles. Defense is, cover 2 is cover 2. You're not really going to change up. You may have a cover 2 blitz or something that comes out of it, but it's really weird to see how the game, or not weird. It's just really interesting to see how the game of football has offensively changed because, even when we played, and I'm older than you, it was all about power football. If you didn't run the I, you ran the wishbone. If you didn't run the wishbone, you might have run the veer. But everything was downhill, hitting you in the mouth with the fullback. And talking about the fullback last night for Peabody.
Oh, yeah.
Lord of mercy. I thought he was playing 7th grade last week because he was standing in front of that monster of Jennings. And, I'm like, gee whiz, man, do they got a fullback or they got a what the heck?
When anybody standing beside Jennings is going to look like a baby.
He's a big old boy.
That's a big boy.
That's it. But the style has changed, and now everybody wants to play that air raid or, that Mike Leach style of football or, the Patriot style of football. But, there's something to be said about lining it up and just man-to-man, I'm better than you,
right,
and stop me.
Right.
Right?
That's the most demoralizing there's a defense, and somebody's running the ball down your throat, and you can't stop it. That affects you more than a big play that happened on a pass. Okay. But you got to be physical, and they coming in. It's a fist fight. You got to have a different mindset to be willing to go in there and pound and scratch and claw every play. Because when you put that ball in there a lot, it's a lot of things that can go wrong.
Yeah.
When you're throwing the ball. But if just turn around and they handing it off, and it's different. It's different.
It's definitely. And Huntington's going to bring a dose of it. Again, as you say, they start when they're in infancy.
Yeah.
And
I think they run it in the womb.
Yeah.
When they do the ultrasound.
Yeah.
They put their playbook on the. I don't even know what the thing called, but they put the playbook on the scope, and they start running. They start down blocking in the second trimester.
Right. Yeah, it's like, all right, here we go. Let's make this happen.
Right.
The season, obviously, not how you wanted to start out. 1-3 is not what you wanted, but the season is still ahead of you because you got 5 games remaining in region play, and in the end, that's what gets you to the playoffs. So plenty of life still available for the Cougars of Jackson Central Mary. A big road test this weekend, and in fact, two road tests coming up here, Huntington and Milan. But then you get Gibson County at home, Union City at home, and then you'll be on the road for Halls to end the season there. The second half of the region, definitely much easier than the first half of the region. But the goal for the next 2 games, obviously compete your best, stay healthy, right? And then compete for region.
Yeah. Try to get in those playoffs. Still got a chance. And we say the second half is easy, but really, it's week to week. You never know. On paper it may look like it's easier, but we know those region games, man. They coming, and it's gonna be a fight. So we got to know that it's gonna be a fight. We got to prepare ourselves to know. Huntington, Milan, we know their pedigree and their history, but. We can't have the mindset of, okay, it's Huntington and Milan, and then we get to Union City, Halls, and Gibson County, then now we can compete, or it's going to be easy, because it's not. So we got to approach every game like it's a must-win for us. That's the mindset we got to have for every game going out, because you never know what can happen, a turnover, an injury, like you said. Yeah. So we gotta get that mindset in. So we can't look at it as if it's too tough and then it's gonna get easier, because it's not.
Yeah, definitely. Workouts done.
Check.
Chicken quesadilla.
Check.
Your kale smoothie.
Check.
It's not kale. Is it kale?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Kale and spinach.
Yeah, kale and spinach, right?
Check.
Splenda. Check. Laundry.
It's not my weekend for laundry this week.
Look at that.
So now I can actually wash my own clothes.
Okay.
Instead of washing uniform.
Okay.
So I get to it's still laundry, but laundry at home.
Yeah.
It's mine.
You'll be sitting at the house.
Yeah.
In laundry. Okay.
Right.
All right. And then game film. Yours or theirs first?
I always start with us.
Okay.
Actually, I
fix your problems first. Right?
Actually, I watched it twice already this morning, but I'm gonna go watch it. It was my sleepy drunk eyes watching it this morning, but I didn't take any notes. I just kind of watched it.
Well, you got 3 systems over there on the sideline that you're filming games with,
right?
You know, so I mean, you got a view from every angle.
Figure
something out,
right? So,
and then you can go back and watch about 6 different streams. I think there was about 25 cameras there at that game.
Yeah, it was. So, so we go. Like I said, I watched it, just eyeball watched it. Now I go back and grade it. That's my next thing. Go back and grade it.
You grade every position, or do you let coaches?
I let the coaches grade it. I grade my position. So every coach grades their position. So I go back, and so we'll go back and grade it. I'm the quarterback guy, so I go back and grade the QB and kind of look at how we can get better in each area, and then we go from there.
Right. Had a head coach one time that he graded every position to see how we graded every position, right? And I was like, that's a lot of rewatching the film.
That's a lot.
I mean,
a whole lot. He didn't coordinate. Did he coordinate?
No, he didn't coordinate.
See, if you don't coordinate, if he didn't coordinate, he kind of got time.
Yeah.
But if you coordinate, that's a lot. It's still a lot.
Every lineman.
Yeah.
You got to grade on. And then you got every defensive lineman you go and grade on.
It's a lot of. It's a lot of rewinding. Sound like Coach Shanks right there.
Yeah. I mean, I just
rewind.
I said, Terry, I don't know what. And he went fishing every day. So I don't know when he graded film, because he went fishing every day.
He a bad man. If I had to grade every position on the film, man, I might probably wouldn't be sitting here right now.
Yeah.
I'd be in Jackson General somewhere. Yeah. Passed out with IV.
Save me.
Right.
Coach, again, the season just ahead, really, for the Cougars, and it starts next week. Got to get rid of the Peabody, the loss there, and it's over with. It doesn't define the Cougars. It just propels the Cougars to next week.
Right.
And Huntington next week on the road. I mean, weren't you at Huntington on the road last year?
We were at Huntington on the road, and we were in Milan on the road last year.
Couldn't somebody give you a break?
It wouldn't be a good story if we had a break.
No. It wouldn't be the Cougars if you had a field to play on and a time clock that worked and 14 straight road games against Milan, Huntington, and at least you got Peabody at home this year. But
we had to play. We had to play somebody at home. I can tell you that.
Yeah,
but I mean, it is what it is. We were at both last year on the road. I mean, hey, I look at it this way. We go to Huntington, we go to Milan. It get us ready to play on that turf on the 3rd. We get turf ready. Glass half full.
That's going to be a big night over at Hub City Center on the 3rd. Knocking on wood. We'll try to get some official word on construction progress. It's looking great. I mean, it really is. So we hope that it's ready to go. But as I just living in the real world, as anybody knows, construction things happen in construction. And you don't always meet deadlines. I hope they are on schedule for the 3rd. And we'll be there at that game. Hopefully you've got some success to talk about coming into that night. And Huntington and Milan. You got a bye week in there? No.
So we got a bye week after Liberty. We're going for fall break week.
Fall break week. Okay.
Yep. So we got Huntington, Milan, Liberty, bye week, Union City, Halls.
Okay. So a chance to get maybe some bumps and bruises healed up late in the season for the Cougars this year. It's always tough to know what it's going to be, but everybody could be healthy going into it. You just
right. You never know. Injury bug. I mean, last year we were blessed. We didn't have an injury until a big time injury into the Milan game, the last game of the season.
Yeah.
So we had a lot of nicks, but we are. I mean, that's the sport. It's football, so you never know. So you just got to be able to –
not table tennis.
Right. You got to be able to adjust accordingly.
Yeah.
And like I said, with whoever's on the field, you got to be able to put them in their best position and coach them and give them confidence and get them prepared for the week.
Yeah, most definitely. Coach, we wish you much success next week on the road at Huntington. Always a tough place to play, and then always a tough opponent to play.
Yes, sir.
So they make it loud and crazy over there. I've been there several times, and as a coach and as an administrator, and they love their football over in Huntington. So wish you much success next week against the Mustangs, and we'll see you hopefully back here. I mean, you seem to be in a pretty good mood.
It's football.
It's football.
And I want to win. I'm a competitor. I want to win. You don't win them all, and you can't.
Gone undefeated.
Right. So you just got to be try to be even headed about it, even and trust your preparation and get better. No use to be down about something that's in the past. I mean, we can't change the outcome of that game. I got to have the best version of me going into the following week, so I can put a plan together, so we can put a plan together as coaches, and we can try to get the players to understand the plan. So there's no need for me to be dragging around and being down about it. I'm a competitor. I want to win every day, every week, but I got to make sure that I'm the leader. So I got to make sure I'm positive. I got to make sure I'm upbeat because we got to bring it next week. We can't sulk and feel sorry for ourselves come Monday because guess what? Huntington's not going to feel sorry for us on Monday. Mm-hmm. So we got to be ready. We got to be prepared. And being sad in your feelings and being emotional is not going to get us prepared to win the game next week. So I got to keep my routines going, tweak what needs to be tweaked, try to find ways to be better as a head coach. Find a way to be better, get the players better, and we got to go to work.
That's it. Go to work. Wish you again much success next week against the Mustangs in Huntington. If you're a Cougars fan, make sure you travel out, be loud and proud, and support your Cougar Nation. And we'll see Coach back here on Sports Talk Live next weekend. Lord willing, the creek don't rise, and we'll have Sports Talk Live right here at Caddy Sports Club, 601 Van Drive next weekend. Guys, it's been a great show. Thanks for all the coaches coming in this morning, and we will be right back here again. I don't think I want to call this week. I think I get to go watch a game a little bit, and so that's going to be nice to stand on the sideline, take some pictures and whatnot. So we'll see where I'm at. I may do a Where's Waldo type thing. Where's the coach? Give away some tickets or something to the Boone game or something like that. If somebody can find me, I'm not going to tell anybody where I'm going to be. I'm just going to pop up. That's where I'm at. I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm making a big social media sensation for all 5 of my followers. That's it. All right, guys. Have a great weekend. We'll see you right here next week on Sports Talk Live with the coach. That's me, Coach T. Stratton. Appreciate everybody for sticking with us today and watching the game last night. Make sure you go and root on your favorite team. And if you're not if you don't have anybody in high school, if you don't have a grandkid, you don't have a kid anymore, just go watch a game. I mean, it's $6 to $8, $10 somewhere, and just go support and be a fan of somebody on a Friday night because some kid may not have a fan in the stands for them. So until next week, we'll see you guys. God bless.